Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925, but we are still married to the games, episode 296. Oh my goodness. This your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you.
You did it, man. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
We made it.
We made it.
Good job, everybody. Good show.
Mm-hmm. Great show.
All right.
Just for that. It was so worth it.
This thing.
Seriously.
Oh,
And back to bed I go.
that's right. Yeah, we haven't done a morning show in a while, boys. This is crazy.
Why? Yeah, we've chosen to do this for 5.5 years
Oh, I know why. Why?
in the morning.
Well, you chose to do this 5.5 years. Don't do
This
this.
is very true. Very true.
You're like, we just hopped on the train that was already moving
Right.
in the
That's right.
5:30 direction.
It's like when you haven't exercised in a while. We'll get back in. We'll get our groove back, our morning groove back.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Exercise.
Yeah. What's that? You got 3 kids, man. That's exercise.
What's returning to exercise?
That's
I never left it.
Yeah. You know that thing that makes you hurt all the time?
yeah.
Let's start that back up.
Yeah, let's do that again. You know when you're in pain a lot? Yeah, let's do that. That's fun.
Router,
Yes, sir.
what's going down with you, brethren?
Oh man, it's action packed. We got a double dose of Piper's topic of the week. 1, the tooth is out, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
The tooth
yeah.
that
Oh, wow.
loose tooth finally
Right
came
out
out
with that drill, right? Just
Yeah,
right
exactly.
out.
Just I used that drill. It was a perfect 1/4-inch drill bit, and boom, done.
Oh, my gosh.
We were up in New York. It was Mother's Day, and I'm brushing her.
was.
I'm brushing her teeth, and it just pops right out, and it stayed in her mouth, and her eyes got all bug-eyed, and I'm like, "Stay still, don't move, keep your mouth open." And I went in, popped it out, and boom, we have ourselves a tooth, and we all cheered, and she has not stopped smiling since, and it's been really sweet. She's got this.
Wow.
It was one of her front bottom teeth. And
Mhm.
it looks adorable, so it's very cute. And number 2, school is out this week. On Friday is her last day of kindergarten.
Is
I can't
it?
believe it.
She just
It is-
started.
I know, it's insane.
That's crazy.
And it still freaks me out because being up in the Northeast, you go to school after Memorial Day and usually almost through June.
Mhm.
And just to have I'm like, wait, school's out already? And it's mid-May. And yeah, that's exactly what happens down here in the South. So yeah, she ends kindergarten. It's been an amazing ride. I can't believe she's going to be in first grade in August. Really proud of her. I had a daddy proud moment. This week they did a talent show from like K through whatever, and I think the first graders come and watch the kindergartners, and the kindergartners come and watch the first graders. And she signed up for water bottle flipping, and I'm like, oh gosh, okay. So Lauren went. I was on a call,
Oh,
so
Lord.
I
They didn't let him do anything up at that piece.
exactly. So I couldn't go. I couldn't go right, and
Be like,
'cause I'm
here
on-
comes little Sarah doing making copies.
exactly.
Here's little Timmy sharpening a wooden pencil.
Exactly.
Your rating? 1 unicorn.
That's right.
Here comes
That is-
Ulysses taking it way back, sending a fax.
Gabe is in heaven, waiting on the anticipation other end.
Exactly.
So Lauren ended up going, and I'm like, while I'm on this call back at work, and I'm like, I just had this knot in my stomach. And so Lauren took video, and you know what? Sure enough, she walks up there with confidence. She walks up there with a smile. I'm like, oh, please, Jesus, just have a bottle flip at least once or twice. And it took like 15 tries. But
Oh,
the kids
Lord have mercy.
the kids were so encouraging. Like every time she almost had it, they would go, oh. And then when she did it, there was a big cheer. There was music in the background too. But I was just so proud of her that she went ahead and did it. I had money down that she would bail on this whole situation and just be like being too nervous and then start being like, I don't want to go. But man, she just went up there. Even her walk was just like, I'm going to do this. And She didn't do it for 15 plus tries until she nailed it, got a cheer, and then walked off and still had a smile on her face. So I was just super proud that despite all of that, she did it. And I felt kind of guilty that I wasn't there. And then Lauren comes back and she's like, "Oh no, it's fine that you weren't there. It was a complete, it was a complete fest. It was unbelievable. Like some kids were singing off key. One dude had an electric guitar and was doing Three Blind Mice, and all the kids were holding their ears."
Oh Lord!
So it's just it sounded like
it was a talent show.
Exactly. So I kind of wish I was there because it would have been amazing. But yeah, I was super proud of her. I think just to do anything like that is really good. So her confidence level is there, and I'm proud of her for that. We were up in New York, up in Rye, New York, which is just north of the city. For our goddaughter's first communion, our friends Dabney, Peter, and their triplets. We stayed with them, and it was a lot of work. Lauren did this huge balloon waterfall install up there, and she's been on this balloon train and loving it. She's already got a couple more installs to do, and it's just kind of taken off, which is really cool. But so we were helping her because she was throwing a party and it was supposed to rain. So they got a tent, and so we put the balloon in the tent and just were helping out. And it was just really nice. Piper had so much fun. She gets along so well with the triplets, and they play with her and just have such a good time together. So it was great. So we flew up there on Thursday, and Thursday night was the Game 7 of the Predators-Jets game. And so as soon as I got in that Uber, I popped on that NBC Sports app, and we're like, 2-0 Winnipeg. I'm like, and that's it for the series. And we got to their house and we were like, hi, can we put the TV on? Great, thanks. And it was just like,
hi, can we ruin a good time?
Yeah, right. And so
I was so sad.
I've been very depressed about it, but it's cool. I've been watching the Golden Knights Jets series, and that's going to be good. The Capitals Lightning series is going to be good. So I'm not as like, I got to rush back and watch the game, but if it's on, I'll watch it. So it's just kind of, I thought for sure we'd advance more than we did. But that's how it goes in hockey, and that's how it goes in playoff hockey. And, Winnipeg,
sports period, right?
Sports period. That's just how it goes. So we got up there, and then we came back on Mother's Day. We flew back and got in early evening and was able to go out to dinner. And man, it's just been running and gunning since. I mean, Lauren's going to go out again up to New York for the stationary show this next weekend. Well, on Monday. And
Are there no balloons allowed at the stationary show?
Oh, there are balloons allowed, but she ain't blowing any of them up there. So, so she'll be out for a little bit. We've just got Piper in a bunch of camps this summer, and just trying to keep her, active. And
bottle flip camp
would be a great idea at this point. How to win at talent shows seminar, perhaps. I don't know.
My nephew was doing that whole bottle flip thing for a long time. I don't know if he's still into it or not.
She was good. Like she was nailing it quite a bit, but I think it was just one of those things.
That pressure.
Yeah, maybe. Well, and there's also a sweet spot in how much water needs to be in the bottle too. So trust me,
and in the arc of the flip,
bottle flipping connoisseurs at this point. You got to just have it right. So. It's been a good week. Very busy though, running around. But I can't believe school's out. We have a little school party on Friday, and then she gets out early dismissal at noon, and that's it. That's it for kindergarten. I can't believe it. On the gaming front, I'm still God of Warring it and loving it, and
nice.
It's just been so much fun. Obviously, I didn't get to play much this weekend, but I'm back in the swing of things now, and man, it's such a great game. So I'm having so much fun with it.
Awesome.
That and Clash Royale, and that is it for me.
There you go.
Very nice.
Yes, sir.
Chris McCracken.
Yes. So this past weekend was a busy one for us. We ended up going up to Oklahoma on Saturday. We were going to go Friday evening, and then spend the night there, and then that way we'd be there all day on on Saturday. But Stacy ended up getting home a little bit late on Friday, so we just decided to wake up early in the morning and head up there. And the reason that we went up there is Saturday was actually pretty packed. We had one of our nieces was doing a play, or actually I shouldn't say a play. It was It was a ballet
Dojo?
recital. No, it was another ballet recital that she had, but it was themed around The Little Mermaid. Then I was thinking it was going to be a play, and I got there and everybody's in leotards. I was like, oh, it's okay. Now I get it. It's a ballet. It probably makes more sense because I was like, I didn't know they did just standalone plays for The Little Mermaid, which I'm sure somebody out there does. But
You're like, well, nobody told me we were dressing up in our leotard. Oh,
I know, gosh, I would have packed it. Why didn't you tell me?
exactly. I got to run back to the house quick.
All right, we got to turn around. I'll be back in 6 hours.
I got to run to the dance skin store.
Oh man. But yeah, she did great in the play or in the recital, however you want to say it. And that was a lot of fun. And then it was my other niece's birthday, so we had a little small celebration for her as well. We'd given her some art gifts and stuff that she was really looking forward to getting. And we celebrated Stacy's mom's Mother's Day on that day. So that was pretty packed. And then we drove home the next day on Sunday, and we went and had Mother's Day with my mom. And then after that, my stepmother, which luckily they both live kind of over on the same part of town. So we didn't have to drive all day long to go take care of everything. But it was nice to be able to visit with all the moms in one weekend. And also my mom's birthday was this past week as well. So hers is always kind of like a Mother's Day / birthday kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So that was great. And then just came home on Sunday, and so we've been paying somebody to do the lawn every other week around here, and luckily it's not been too crazy to where it needs any mowing on that off week. It's just been fine where right when the week where they're come and do it, it's like, okay, now it needs it. So I haven't really had to mow much except in the area back behind our house where it's past our property and there's, a wooded area back there. And one thing that we asked them to do is we asked them to put new mulch in around our flower beds in the front and the backyard. And they did a great job. Like they went above and beyond, in my opinion, because like we've mulched at our old house before, and 5 bags in. I'm like, yeah, it's good. Just spread it out. We're fine.
done.
They like mulched it like it. I don't know how many bags they used.
Your whole flower bed looks like a comb over.
Exactly, it does. It's kind of crazy. So
It's the Donald Trump bed.
we were kind of thinking about it. I was like, you know
huge
what?
burrito.
We should probably check. What was that?
I said, who buried that huge burrito?
Oh, okay. So it was so much so that we were like, look, we should probably check and see if our sprinkler system, if these are even popping back up, because there's a lot of mulch there. And we checked it, and sure enough, it wasn't. And one of them we found had gotten busted and broke off. So I spent the rest of my Sunday like fixing the sprinkler system, at least to the best that I could. I was like, okay, I've got one idea, and if this doesn't fix it, we're gonna have to call somebody out because I don't really know exactly what else to do. But luckily, I was able to take the old one over to Home Depot or to Lowe's, I think it was. And the guy there knew, and I don't know how to explain exactly what it was I was dealing with, but the guy that was there was actually pretty knowledgeable and said, oh yeah, I've seen this before. This is how you need to take care of it. And sure enough, it worked. So now we got everything working again, and it's fine. Good. But man, I was just like, geez, this another thing that I got on this weekend is like, we didn't have this many issues at our old house. And these have not been like, I'm using issues in air quotes. These are not problems really, but it's just like, man, I wasn't expecting them all to hit, but I guess that's the way that it goes. But that was able to get taken care of, and it was fine. And it seems to have been working fine since then. The week at work has just been crazy because we've been shooting on location for most of the week. Today is an off day, which I'm back in the office, but we have a project deadline that got moved up like 2 weeks, and it's due next Tuesday. And since this is my only day in the office because we're out the rest of the week on location, I got a project that I've got to try to wrap up today, and then I'll have a little bit of time on Monday to finish it off in the morning. So I've got to have it in a really good spot, if not finished today. So I'm going to be working just like feverishly on that. I may be staying late to try and make sure that I have that all in a good spot. But outside of that, everything at work's it's busy, but it's just kind of going as normal. So on the gaming front, I saw that Gabe had done the Detroit demo, and I knew that Ed had done it as well. And I'd been meaning to do it. And so when I was like, oh, you know what? They both recorded it. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick, and I'm going to record it. And so I just put it on there.
Nice.
So now we have Ed, Gabe, and myself all on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is it 3 different endings?
Well, it turns out that you and I actually didn't watch Ed's because I remember him talking about it on the show. So I was like, all right, I feel like I remember where his went. And I didn't watch yours at all. I specifically said, you know what, I'm not going to watch his because I want to play mine and see what ending I get, and then I'll go back. Yeah. Turns out Gabe and I had the same ending, even though we got there different ways, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Gabe, at the end of yours, did you have to button mash X?
Heck yeah.
Because Chris didn't.
No, I didn't.
What?
Yeah. I was like, well, I screwed this up, and sure enough, I didn't. Well, I kind of didn't.
I had to button mash. Like, it was like, and you know what's crazy is I got the ending that Moses got when he was at PAX.
Oh, right.
And he wasn't paying attention and didn't button mash X.
No.
Oh, no. What happens? Does he just run to the edge and the
girl falls?
Oh, wow. See, yeah, I had the same animation and everything, but there was no prompt for me. It was just like a cutscene. I was like, well, let's see what happens.
I think it's because you got closer to the girl, Chris. I think you walked closer, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
But what the difference was.
That's crazy.
But I tell you one thing, that this game, just in the demo, I'm like, oh, man.
I know, that's junk is stressful. I might have to take up cigarettes.
Not even that. I mean, that's true. It is. But what I'm getting at is the gameplay stuff. It's like, oh, great. Here comes my brain. You're going to mess this game up for me because the camera, I can invert it. Lord have mercy. Good thing I can invert the camera.
But not the...
But whenever there's like a cursor kind of thing, it's inverted as well. And that jacks with my head. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a bit of a beatdown, I feel like. It feels like a Telltale game.
You'll get used to it.
Well, I never do in any other game that happens. So I would like to believe you, but I don't have faith.
Man, I really don't like that you can't do the analysis of the room and walk at the same time. That bugs me.
Oh, right.
And the left and right camera, like when you're kind of just looking over the right a bit and looking over the left, that feels a little weird to me. It always wants to springboard right back to the dead center, so it feels like you're fighting against it. I don't really like that. And I don't know if that's just a demo thing or not, but so like when, for instance, when Connor, I think is the name of the character you play, when you're first walking that main hallway after the mom kind of says like, oh, why'd you bring an android? Why not a person? And then that's when you can really start looking around and analyzing different things around the room. Like you see the fish and whatnot. If you're standing in the center and you push to the left or the right, he doesn't really turn his head. It just kind of pivots the camera a bit, but it's like it's always just pulling, trying to get right back dead center behind over his shoulder.
Huh.
And I don't like the fighting feel that it's going to have. When it goes to the left, is doing it so much so that it doesn't really it's like the camera doesn't pan to the left. It's almost as though it's just kind of leaning, so it also goes slightly up. Like it's not a direct right over. It's kind of like this up angle because it's like you're tilting it weird. I don't know if I'm just more sensitive to this stuff because I shoot with cameras and stuff all the time, and so I kind of know what this is, but I was like, man, that's kind of wonky. And I thought it was going to go away once I got out of that really narrow hallway, and when I got out into the room, but it didn't. Which I can get over that.
Right. My only thing on that is I feel like there was a couple times that my percentage came up and I couldn't swing the camera around to look at it. Like it stayed out of frame, and I was like, what in the heck is going on? Yeah. Like, why can't I just look over there to see that?
There was also at least once, may have been twice in the demo, where my percentage would go down, and I hadn't even done anything. I was like, wait a minute, what? Did I just skip something?
Thing. It tells you that time is a factor.
Okay. Maybe that's what it was.
Early in the demo, so I think it was that.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense.
So all three of you have played it. So what are your impressions so far?
I'm liking it. I can't wait to play it.
I loved it. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's just the mechanical part, the controlling part. It takes me out of it. But this is just a me thing. But it takes me out of it because I'm focusing on like, wait, how can I fix this? What can I tweak in the settings? I'm end up finding myself messing with all that. And if I can find a way to tweak those things, I'm sure I can set it in the beginning, and then I'll be fine. Story wise, I thought it was fun. Even though I've seen that played numerous times, like when we were at E3 and other demos, and then obviously afterwards, and when I was done, I watched Gabe's as well to see what his ending was. I still think it's cool and it's fun, story wise. I haven't been bored of it, despite the fact that I've seen that scene probably 10 or 12 times.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
It's a good point.
After that, played a little bit of Overwatch at a couple of times. We actually had a good number of the community jumping on this week and playing.
Yeah, we
and
did.
so a few times where we had more people in the party wanting to play than there were spots to play because you can only have 6 on a team. So since I'm still like really enamored with God of War and working towards that, I've went ahead and volunteered and said, hey, I'll back out so that this person can jump in.
That was good of you,
and
Chris.
continue to play. And I want Stacy to be like this. Really, the only game that Stacy plays. So I definitely didn't want to ask her like, "Hey, you mind bouncing so somebody else can come in here?" I was like, "No, look, I'll back out because I've got a whole nother game that I can go play and spend hours with as well." So a little bit of Overwatch. Stacy's played way more than I have, and then the rest of the time has just been God of War, working towards the platinum. And I just the platinum is a nice carrot on the end of the stick, a thing to chase after. But honestly, even if there was no platinum to get, I feel like I'd still be playing this game.
Yo,
Is
you're
that
loving
right?
it?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
I mean
awesome.
I don't think I feel like this has enthralled me more than any other game this generation so far.
Whoa.
It's great.
And that's
yeah.
crazy to
Wow.
say, honestly, because I heard some people throw terms like that out, and I was like, whatever.
Right.
And I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah.
The last time that a game like this really grabbed me was Metal Gear Solid 5. So,
Oh, wow.
I mean, I want to say that once I get the platinum and that trophy hits, I may be done. In which by that point, I probably will have done basically everything in the game.
Yeah, I was
I mean,
going to
there's
say,
always
at that
going to
point you
be
would.
there's always going to be areas you can go and enemies will repopulate. So there still will be things I can do. But I'm very curious how I'm going to feel like when I get that trophy. Am I going to be like, all right, and I feel like I'm done for a while? Like I've already thought about. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing this game again. And there's not any game, not even with The Last of Us. I've ended up playing The Last of Us again, but it wasn't until the remaster came out on PS4. There's not any other game that I've beat. And once I beat it, already thought, I think I can see myself going back to this pretty soon. I haven't done that with any other game.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
at least on this generation, I'm talking the PS4 generation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, for me, all of the hype about it and everything it totally works for me. There's so many things about the story,
Good.
which I never talk about it anywhere because I feel like, man, I still feel like I don't know how many people have finished it because it's a long game campaign wise. And, in our community are not the type of people that can just sit and marathon game session most of the time. We're kids and wives 9 to 5. So I just try to not say much, if anything, because I want everybody to experience the stuff that this game has for them. I don't want anything spoiled for anybody.
Right.
But I've watched 6 or 7 different spoiler casts. Anytime there's a story with Cory Barlog, I'm reading it or listening to it or watching it. I just can't. I'm still enamored with everything.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Loving that happens.
I really, really enjoy it.
I love that.
I've meant to message you, Tim, a couple of times and be like, hey, just tell me where you are. What's the last thing you saw? Okay, cool. And I haven't done it because I've been crazy busy over the weekend and then at work. But in fact, after this show's over, you need to message me and tell me where you are because I was going to ask and I didn't. But that's it for me this week.
It's funny, Chris. I'm almost tempted to just have you guys go ahead and do it because I'm having too much fun and I'm getting sidetracked. And I'm like, I'm going to be here for a while. And like, if you guys have to talk about it, by all means, at this point, like now that I'm in the game,
I don't think we're gonna do that just because it's already been a really, really long time. Like Ed, for instance, he finished it first, so he's now about a month or more since he played it. I mean, it's not really all that fresh. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just still enthralled with it because I'm still in the world. Like I'm still going back every day.
Well, that's the thing. Like
getting story bits and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm first time playing it and I'm enthralled with the world. And I'm like, man, this is just, there's like, I don't want to just main mission this because there's something over there that I want to go look at and go explore. And not that it, a lot of the side stuff, I don't think affects a lot of the story mission.
No, it doesn't.
So
you learn the only thing that you learn story wise, I guess you could say, in the side quest stuff is like lore type things. Right. You don't learn anything that pertains necessarily to the story or moving the main story forward in any way. That's why I was really encouraging you. Look, the side stuff is fun, but if you're wanting to finish the story or if you're just wanting to focus on the story, because if you're anything like me, if I'm in an open world game, which I know this one's not really open world, but just as an aside, like if I'm playing Horizon, if I spend too much time on side stuff, I'll kind of forget where I left off on the story.
Too.
And I don't want to do that. I want to keep the story in front of me so I can see it all the way through and I'm not missing pieces and stuff. And that's why I was encouraging you and anybody else that, hey, the side stuff's not needed for power purposes. It's good to have, but it's not needed. So I would just say focus on the story because it's so good. And there's so much there that is just so subtle. And then when you pick up on it, you're like, oh my gosh, that is amazing that was touched and it went this way and that ties to this. That if you constantly are getting distracted by side things, you can miss all these little special nuances in the main quest. Which is why cool. I tell people, I just encourage, hey, just story it, just main story it, and then you can do all this crazy side stuff after the fact.
Yeah, I'm definitely like reverse engineering the way that I normally would play this game. So I haven't looked at a ton of the platinum stuff. So I'm just because you will usually
stay out
end
of
up
the
getting
trophy list.
Yeah,
I'd stay out of there.
All of it's not spoilery, but and a lot of it's more quest stuff anyway.
Yeah,
but it's like once you finish part of a mission, you end up getting a trophy anyway. So that's good. I'm getting those. And then I'm gonna finish the main mission and then just start back from from home base and go back and get all the other stuff done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. You'll still have plenty of fun with it after doing all the side stuff after the story stuff too. So
exactly,
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Eduardo,
I do too.
Yes, sir.
What about you?
Where are you at, man?
Sarah and I are back in Lancaster, PA. We drove in yesterday.
So he's sitting outside the Square One, waiting on the door to open.
You tell me if I haven't thought of that at least 4 times already this morning.
That's funny.
So yeah, we drove in yesterday. Got in about a little after 11 last night. We're staying with our friends, the Dillers, where we stayed the last time. And Sarah's in a wedding this weekend. She's doing the bridesmaid thing, so it's just a nice chance she's doing a Zumba class tonight, so kind of like a return to Lancaster class, and looking forward to, after we get done recording, I'm going to run out to the radio station and see some friends. And
oh, good.
You're like, I'm going to run out to the radio station and punch that guy.
Yeah, punch some dude.
Right, punch some dude acting a fool.
And then come back and go back to sleep.
That's right.
Good day.
Good day. Accomplished a lot.
Exactly.
Mother's Day was nice. My mom lives in North Carolina, so I just called her, and it was funny because I told Sarah, we were talking earlier when Ready Player One came out, how it's crazy that Spielberg is in his 70s and he made such a cool movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized after talking to Mom, who just turned 70, she is not going to be that kind of 70-year-old.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my gosh.
We talked for an hour.
Happy Mother's Day.
Exactly. I can't find out how to tag myself on the Facebook. You're like, oh, my gosh. It's just Facebook and Instagram. It's two different things. I tried double clicking it. And they're like, oh.
She's like the SNL Alexa Silver. She's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It's just the mailman, Mom. I don't know about that.
Such a good skit.
We talked for an hour, and I'll bet, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes of it was the adventures of this bird outside of her window. She's been watching.
Oh, Lord. Oh, shoot.
Yes.
You can make me spit on my coffee, Ed. Come on.
Was it a red-winged blackbird, or was it a European finch?
I was not listening.
Of course you weren't.
Please tell me she started it over at least 3 times. Let me tell you about this bird.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just funny. It was so
Cliff, take a picture of the bird to send to Edward. Cliff. Nah, he's not listening. Funny enough, I'm not listening either.
Yeah.
That's right. What's really funny is when we were driving out to Lancaster yesterday, I realized how much Overwatch I've been playing lately. Just because every time I would see a car come up behind me in my rear view, I automatically, without even doing it on purpose, related it to an Overwatch character.
Like the car itself?
The car itself. So I'd be like, oh, here comes Reaper. I was like, oh, wait, it's just a black sporty car. Or, a semi. Oh, here comes Reinhardt.
That's
You see a Volkswagen Bug, you're like, oh, it's Big Belly.
Exactly. Yep.
That's funny.
But yeah, like Chris mentioned, we have been playing a lot of Overwatch, and it was really cool just because Patrick Novosel, it was his first time playing. He finally picked it up, and we were like,
hey.
He was like me a year ago or however long it was when he said, I think it's been too long for me to jump in. I've never played. And I was like, dude, that's how I was a year in. And, you know, the community was great as far as taking me by the hand and kind of leading me through it. And it was just exciting to be on that other side and be like, no, dude, come on in. We got your back. And Mark Boucher jumped in, who's also pretty new to it as well. And we just had a great time. Kaboski and Jared and the McCrackens and Lem. And then, wouldn't you know, Gabe jumped in there and I was like, these guys are getting spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. This is not how this usually goes.
But it was, you know, it was one of those classic gaming cases where you're like, this is so much fun. It's 3 a.m.
Yeah, gosh, yes, it was. But it was
exactly
what happened.
I think my highlight was, you know, Patrick and Mark Boucher are big PUBG guys, and they were like, I think we're done with PUBG. I think it's going to be Overwatch.
Love it.
So it was just such a good time just hanging out with everyone over the weekend and during the week and playing with them. And so, yeah, it was a really good week for that. Still playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, still loving it.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's just one of those games that you're like, I can just pick up, go to, free a little outpost, go to the next one, and then put it down. And yeah, I love that about that. And again,
Cool.
I haven't put a dent in it, and so I love that there's so much more for me to do in that game.
It's an open world game, right? Like similar to Far Cry? Okay.
Yeah, and it's very much like Far Cry, wherein you could drive, but I am just walking everywhere and
from what I remember, the demo, the driving was horrible. Of what I played.
It's like you're on ice all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
no, thank
you. If you like that,
no,
I do not.
But yeah, other than that, that's been the week. It's been a pretty good week.
Unless it's a Mario Kart level where you're on ice.
Right.
I know. I mean, how can you be like, I'm in a desert or I'm in a wooded area? Where's all this ice coming from? Makes no sense.
Exactly.
It's a mirage.
That's right. Man, I miss Mario Kart.
I know. What a good game.
Right?
So good.
Yeah.
You can buy a Switch. They're not on sale.
You can buy a Switch. They're not
still
on sale.
Selling gangbusters at regular
They're
price.
still selling at full retail price.
Yeah, but full retail
Come
price,
on
you gotta
down.
remember, is not that much.
Isn't it $300?
I'm saying in comparison to if everything didn't go on sale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of on sale, whoever that was that posted that link to the Xbox One S,
that was
good
me.
night, that's a deal.
Yes,
Which I think it's already gone. Is it? I feel like I clicked on the link and it was like, this is not available.
Really?
Wow.
I thought I did, yeah.
$200 for an Xbox One S, an extra controller, and 3 months of.
Oh, it was that was the reason that I clicked on it. I wanted to see the price, and it said not available because was it a Costco link or something like that?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it said no longer available. I was like, huh. Whatever it was must have been good. So $200,
right?
yeah, that was cheap.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, product not found. Oof.
Wow.
I almost bought one just cause.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, $200.
Man, we don't need food this week. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I was like, man, dang it. That seems super cheap. But
Right?
Did it come bundled with anything?
Yeah, it had
an extra controller and
No, game-wise.
a couple months of Xbox.
It had
Live.
3 months of Game Pass on there.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
3 months of
awesome.
Game Pass
Wow.
and 3 months of Xbox Live and an extra controller.
That's crazy.
I mean, and the
Wow.
S's are nice. You know what I'm saying? They're built well. You know, they look nice.
Yeah.
If the S would have been the original Xbox One, I think it would have done
We'd be
better.
we'd be having a whole different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Ed, you done?
Yes.
Mr. Patillo,
Mm-hmm.
what you got? No more Disney adventure.
No more Disney Adventure, but life continues to suck, kind of.
Oh no.
Oh god,
dude.
It's the Gabe Patello downward
Oh,
spiral summer.
That's the
Woohoo!
problem, dude. You brought the kids back with you from Disney.
I know. I should have
Yeah.
left them like I was thinking
Yeah.
of doing.
Uh-huh.
I should have kept my first mind, as some people say.
Always follow your heart.
I
Yeah.
know. That's what they were telling
That's
me the
right.
whole time. They were trying to ingrain it in me.
Always follow your heart, not your kids.
I know. I
You'll
was
be
like,
fine.
I could follow my heart or do the right thing. Which they don't differentiate at Disney World.
Nope.
There is a difference.
Yes.
That is funny.
So yeah, we got back from Disney, and I didn't mention last week we did the Toy Story ride, and Jenny almost beat me in that thing. Because we were like each holding a child, trying to do it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I look over and it like after like the first 2 phases or something like that, she's got like 55,000 points and I've got 50,000 points. I was like, well, time to put in work. Move, Milo.
Yep. Milo's
Amara,
just
take this
hanging,
child.
hanging on the
Exactly.
side.
My pride totally
They
got me.
stopped the ride. We have a kid on the tracks.
Yeah. I was coming
Exactly.
back for him. You have to stop the
Jeez.
ride. Golly.
It loops around. It loops around. You
Yeah.
can come back and get them.
These people are touchy around here.
And Miles just sitting there smiling.
Yeah, exactly. Just taking it all
Sweet
in,
boy.
clapping.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh.
And so we come back on I don't even know what day we came back. What was
was
the
all blur.
Thursday?
I think Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday of last week. And then we had a show this last weekend in Georgia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so went and did that real quick. However, while I was gone, we found out that Amara and Jenny had strep throat.
Oh, no, dude.
What?
Piper's topic of the
Oh.
week, strep throat.
Yeah.
And so,
seriously.
That sucks. So here's what's weird about strep throat.
Uh-huh.
For Amara's age,
Mm-hmm.
they actually like power through amazingly. They'll be dancing around and having a party.
Yes.
Like,
you
the
are
fever
correct.
kind of comes and goes. Like, it's
Yep.
not that bad.
Yeah.
For toddlers, it could kill them.
Wow.
Mm.
And then for adults, it's terrible. Like, it's just like
Wow.
you feel like death the whole time. And so I'm gone. Jenny's laid out, like can't get out the bed.
Mm.
Amara's dancing around. However, you don't want her around Milo and Remy because
Right.
strep has been known to kill toddlers. And
Mm.
so you're like, well, I'm in Georgia doing a show. So people are clapping for
Wow.
me while everyone is at home, all hands on deck. So my mother-in-law came over, my mom came over, my sister-in-law came over and like just kind of took shifts throughout the day, taking care of Jenny.
Wow.
And
Did she not get a penicillin shot or anything?
She's allergic to penicillin.
Oh no.
She has a penicillin
jeez.
allergy. Jenny does.
Mm.
Oh, so she's got to use some other
Perfect.
medication that probably takes longer for it to.
Exactly. And so she actually can take amoxicillin, which is what they prescribe anyway.
Oh my gosh.
But they didn't know that, and so they gave her some other stuff for a day, and so it took a long time. Anyway, so I get home on Mother's Day, wake up in my bunk to a text that's like, "We need you. We're at the ER." I'm like,
gosh.
Great.
I'm like, It's like one of those texts where I just wanted to like click my phone off, turn it back down, and just go back to bed.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna try this again.
Yeah.
Let's
see
start
that.
the day
I'm
over, shall
still
we?
half asleep. I didn't read this right. Let's take
No.
another
Yeah.
look.
Exactly.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome
So
back.
like in like days, I'm like trying to get all my stuff together and get to the ER because Jenny's in the ER, and I'm like, oh man, what is going on right now?
Mm.
That's the worst.
And so we get there and she's laid out and getting an IV and all this business, and so it was funny because she was like, how come ER days are like the most relaxing? And I was like, you're the only girl that I know that be on Instagram. Like other girls are like, spa day. You're like, ER day. The husband let me go to the ER for the day.
Yeah, it's
Get-
fantastic.
2 bags of IV put in. It was Amazing.
Oh, poor thing.
I'm
On
glowing.
Mother's Day. Ugh.
Yeah, so that's how we spent Mother's Day. So we
Oh my gosh,
postponed
dude.
Mother's Day till tonight. So tonight we're getting together with our moms and going out, which is an idea we should do all the time.
Well, sure.
Because Sunday is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Trying to like
Oh,
go
yeah,
out
it
and
is.
eat
Oh my
with
God.
your
Forget it.
family. So I'm glad that we're going out tonight. It'll be great. And but everybody's just like a little touch and go. The boys ended up getting a little something, like a little cough, something, and I got a freaking toothache that sucks, and
Oh,
but
man.
everybody else is on the mend.
Is it that same toothache or is it a new one?
Yes, from last year, if you remember.
And you got to
So
hit
I
up a
don't remember-
dentist to get that taken care of.
I'm going to.
Right.
It just kind of like went away and you forget about it, and then it came back
Right.
with a vengeance.
It's like, hi.
It's like,
I'm still
hey,
here.
I'm gonna make this whole side of your mouth pulsate with your heartbeat.
You're going to have a heartbeat by this tooth.
Exactly.
Just-
My gums are like, hold. We can make it through this until he takes some Advil. So,
Oh my
then we had a
gosh.
show here in town last night, just a benefit for a school called FCA around here, and so that was fine. So I'm just ready for like I don't even know what something else,
Healthy.
and now
Yeah.
for something completely different.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I would like.
Is Amara done this Friday as well?
No, sure. Her last day of school is not until next Wednesday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I go to Canada real quick this weekend.
Sweet.
Oh wow.
Red Deer,
Yeah.
Alberta. So nice and
Ooh.
close.
Sounds riveting
Yeah, sounds far away, which it is.
from everything.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that's been it's been a time.
Dude.
Party at the
Yeah,
Patillos.
gaming wise, which has been the bright spots of my week. Has definitely been getting into Overwatch. That was really fun. Call of Duty, doing the Detroit Become Human. I keep wanting to call it Beyond Become
I do
Human.
I
too.
know. I mentioned
Beyond
that too
two
at the
Detroits.
end.
I know, but it's just because they did another colon. I'm like, why do two games back to back? Because Beyond is called Beyond Two Souls. This is called Detroit Become Human. And
Also,
I know,
the
right?
Beyond is the PS Plus game right now, so that also had it on my mind.
yes, heavy.
Yeah, I always want to say Beyond
rain.
Human.
Yeah.
Is it heavy colon rain?
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
I was gonna say, I did not know that.
No, I was just joking.
Did you finish the Call of Duty campaign?
I never started it. I've just
Oh, I
been
thought you
playing
did.
Oh, wow.
multiplayer with the guys, and so
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
how
you
it
said
was
you
in
were
the
going
old
to try
days.
and get it.
Forget that campaign. I'm up on that multiplayer.
I know, and it's nice that we've talked about them not having a campaign anymore, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not playing this one, so stop all your complaining. And I think that's been it, man. Clash Royale, of course, and as always,
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Clash Royale and life and Clash Royale.
It's it's amazing how much like it takes over. Like, oh, I got a break. I've got 3 minutes. Let's play. Let's go.
I know exactly. I'm walking to the toilet.
That's right.
It's not have to be poop life anymore.
No, it's your pre
Yeah, pregame.
pregame poop life.
Tailgating to poop life.
Yes.
Tailgating to poop life. Clash Royale poop life tailgating.
Oh man. And that's
set
it
up
for
a
me.
barbecue. It'll be great.
Exactly.
I got the tent. It'll be awesome. No rain. Let's go.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Router, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Then let's do it. Oh,
Coming in like a roaring jet,
Lord,
dude. I was like, let's do it.
did I mention that we had a show last night?
No, that was it.
I can just hear those vocal cords tearing.
Voice is exhausted.
The vocal cords are going, hold.
Exactly. It's one of those things too, like because we played the Franklin Theater, it's a such a more intimate show that I sing more than in a regular show, and I already sing a bunch in a regular show.
Yeah.
So I woke up this morning early, and
yeah, you did.
the voice is not having
You're welcome.
it. Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I got you. Get up early. Yeah, go ahead. Try it.
Try it.
No, we'll be right here. Go ahead."
Yeah, yep.
That freaking George of the Jungle, that junk.
Your vocal cords are mad at your fingers because your fingers are the ones that said, "Let's do a morning show this week." Yeah,
I know. It's only because of Mother's Day. It's because our belated Mother's Day.
That's right. All right, well, let's get to some new releases. We're going to start with Hitman, the definitive edition for the PS4 and Xbox One. I remember we talked about that, and I think they've combined all of those episodes into one definitive edition. So
we're just drawing this out now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now we're just like, throwing this up at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah, that's like Hitman just took a crazy selfie in the mirror, and everybody's like, "Ooh, see what Hitman did?" It's like, you really need attention that bad?
Exactly. That's so funny. For the Switch, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Also for the Switch, Little Nightmares Complete Edition.
Huh.
For the Xbox One, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Ooh.
For the Switch, Battle Chasers Night War.
I like that.
For the Switch, The Banner Saga. For the Switch, Yonder: The Cloud Catcher Chronicles.
Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream presents Yonder: The Cloud Catcher Chronicles.
I don't know Yonder: That's weird. Yonder: over there. You see a doctor putting on his glove. All right, I'm here. I'm coming.
Right, here we go.
Bring me Yonder:
You'll feel some pressure. All right. Shin Megami Tensei, Strange Journal Redo for the 3DS. White Knight for the Switch. For the PS4 and Xbox One, Cities, Skylines, Natural Disasters.
I want to buy that game so bad for some strange reason.
I'm sure you do, man. You're such a sandbox play kind of a guy, so
which
that
game?
sounds amazing. Cities, Skylines.
Oh, yeah, the Skyline one. Yeah.
But it's Natural Disasters, so that could be fun.
Oh.
And then for the PS4, Dragon's Crown Pro Battle Hardened Edition. We will probably get MPD for April next week. We had no oops, but back to you.
Really? No oops? Come on now.
Yeah.
Y'all let me down over here with the whole Last of Us discussion. It was a big one. I was like, our community's going to come through and tell us what the real deal was. Because one of us, we were on different sides, so somebody had to have been oopsed.
No, we had.
Y'all let me down, community.
Wow.
Right. Maybe they were just giving us grace for once.
The oops was that I had mentioned that the first trailer that we saw from Last of Us was a gameplay trailer, and it was the last trailer I saw. I mean, it was the first trailer I saw.
Right.
It was not the first trailer released. The first trailer released was them just running from clickers in a house.
Ah! That was the sound of running.
Exactly.
Was that the clicker or was that Joel?
That's up for interpretation.
No, Chris just spilled his coffee.
Nice.
I miss a clicker sound.
Yeah, that's right.
You can make it an MP3 and go to sleep to it.
That's true. I can.
Over and over. Put that on loop.
Babe, I'm just going to put on some soothing sounds.
The soothing sounds.
The soothing sounds of clicking.
I sleep right away. And I don't wet the bed at all.
Exactly. Chris McCracken.
All right. So there's been a lot of talk, at least amongst Ed and I and other people in our community that like to play Overwatch, about when are they going to announce this doggone anniversary? And, well, they finally went ahead and announced when that event is going to happen. It has been confirmed. It is going to be hitting on May 22nd, which was kind of speculated by a lot of people because the Mercy skin that is beneficial to, or that you can buy and proceeds go to the help breast cancer research, that the ability to be able to buy that ends on the 21st. So we're like, oh, then I bet it's going to end up being the 22nd. Turns out that is indeed the case. It's going to be, from what I remember of last year, I think this one's a little bit different because as you can imagine, they are going to have some cosmetic items and different legendary skins and stuff tied to just this anniversary event so that they're brand new. There's also going to be new dances for the characters that weren't around last year. like Doomfist,
Nice.
Moira. I always want to say Moria. And then Brigitte. So they're going to finally get their dance emotes, and then possibly some other legendary skins. There's possibly going to be a very damper
please
Doomfist.
have a Hotline Bling dance? Because that'd be
my
hilarious.
gosh.
Oh
would
yeah,
be
that'd be
amazing.
nice. I'm really hoping that Moira has the what is it? The
River
Lord
dance?
of the Dance, the River Dance thing. Yeah, I'm
That
really
would be
hoping-
incredible.
Yeah, I really hope that's what she's getting, because I feel like it's going to be a missed opportunity if she doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
They're also bringing in a new. Oh, bless you.
Oh,
They're bringing in a new map called Petra, which you're going to be able to play a deathmatch version on there. With deathmatch is basically just free for all. But they're also bringing back all of the events from last year's, all the different events, all the little individual little things that would have, like Retribution had the story missions, and then the Halloween
Chinese New Year,
Junkenstein thing. Yeah, all of those are coming back as well. And I don't remember that being the case at last year's anniversary event. Was that? Do you remember that, Ed?
I don't think, because that didn't sound familiar to me at all. I
Is it
didn't even know
because
what they
all
were
that
talking
stuff
about.
hadn't really happened? Maybe like they
No,
didn't-
it had all
hadn't-
happened already once, because that was last year was the first
Oh,
year.
did they
that
do
each of
Chinese
the-
New Year and everything for all those last year too?
Yeah, they did all those last year, and so this one, not only are all those different,
No, I mean before last year. They would have to have been before.
like the game drops May, it launches on May, and then the summer there's a Summer Games event, and then in October, like there was events
Always
for
right
these
away.
different seasons. Yeah, the first year that the game was
Because
out,
Blizzard is awesome.
and so
Right.
now all those events are going to be playable again, and all of their stuff tied to them, so skins, emotes, anything at all, is all going to be available again, and.
Wow.
I was a little. I'm not exactly sure if I'm interpreting what Jeff Kaplan said on the update right, but he made it sound as though every loot box that drops, you're guaranteed to get a anniversary item of some sort in it. And I don't feel like that's always been guaranteed before. I feel like there, even during an event, I could get a loot box where nothing is necessarily from that event. But he said it's
Right.
there's gonna be something guaranteed in every one, which I feel like that's a new thing too, unless I'm just not remembering
Yeah.
correctly.
It'll be one you already have, but
Yeah.
Not me.
I mean, I will say that I thought there for a good while, when they made the whole effort to make it to where duplicates were much less of a thing. For a long time, I didn't get duplicates, but now I'm back on the duplicate train.
Yep.
I'm getting
Same
them all
thing
the
here.
time. Now, granted, people who play as much as like Ed and I do, that's bound to happen.
Of
But-
course.
right.
So
right.
I would think, like, if, fingers crossed, and I know it probably wouldn't because it's Gabe, but hopefully if he jumps in, he will not be getting some duplicates. He'll be getting some good stuff.
Yes.
So we'll just have to see. But I'm
Yeah.
really excited about this. Stacy is just elated because all she's talked about since she started playing the game was, I want to have dances. Where are the dances? Are the dances coming yet? Well, Stacy, May 22nd, you can get your dances.
There
She's
you
been
go.
saving
Yes.
the coins all since she started playing just to buy dances.
Doggone it.
Nice.
I can't wait for her to finally jump in there and get all of her dance emotes
That's
to her heart's content.
I love that. That's so great. Here's a game we haven't talked about in a little while. Rocket League.
Hey,
I thought you were going to make
Wow.
a joke and talk about Fortnite.
No, seriously. No, but Rocket League has finally figured out how to cross-platform party up.
wow.
And
Oh, is
so,
that right?
we've always known that it was cross-platform play, where you were playing with Xbox people, playing with PC people, playing with PS4 people, but there wasn't a way for you guys to come together and play together on purpose without really going out of your way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And now they're going to create a lobby, and to where you'll have an in-game ID, and then you enter that in-game ID into a new in-game friends list, and then you can party up from that friends list and play online.
Wow. That's great.
It's coming this summer. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, that's really cool. And
That is amazing.
apparently the summer update is going to be huge, and so they're thinking July or August. So that'll be
Nice.
amazing. And I think this has been a long time coming. And since it's one of those rare games that's cross-platform with everybody, hopefully it'll be really cool. I think that because here's always been the problem: PS4 is cross-platform with PC, Xbox is cross-platform with PC, Switch I think is cross-platform with Xbox and PC, and there was a way that you could jimmy rig it where a PC person could play with a PS4 person and an Xbox person, but it was always been really hard to do. So I don't know who
They
all
cracked the code.
Yeah, they cracked it though. Yeah.
And they've been
we'll see.
really they've been battling that. They've been wanting to do that for a long
they've
time. So
championing this for a minute.
They really have. They've been fighting for it actually. And kudos to them for sticking it out. And you would think that something like this isn't that big of a deal, and it shouldn't take very long to set this up. It's probably a ton of code to put together to try and sync everything
all
together
three of those to talk.
so that all three platforms can talk together.
So I'm just talking out loud here. So basically what they've done is they've created an in-game lobby, which a lot of games have. It's just that they're not cross-platform. So, kudos to that. But is this going to be less cumbersome than just hitting up your buddy and being, hey, let's jump on Discord and chat? I mean, because you have to put in a code to go to an in-game server, and then inside there you have to have a separate friends list that I'm assuming send requests and accepts. And I mean, I'm great that there's another option, but it doesn't sound like it's less cumbersome than just, yo, dude, hop on Discord real quick.
I think once you set it up, I think it'll be easier.
Exactly.
But yes, there will be an extra step because you'll have an in-game ID. And once you have that ID, then you just need to get your friends to include you in the in-game friends list. And then once that's done, then you're good. But yes, there will be that initial setup.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Past the initial setup, I can't imagine it's going to be that bad.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
I just do Discord personally, but good on them for doing the thing.
Great.
But you understand it was still a problem. Like you still couldn't play with an Xbox person easily, even if you did get on Discord.
Well, you could play with them, you just couldn't chat with them. Yes,
that's right.
Right? Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the playing still was tough. Like a PC person had to host a private
specifically
something
linking up with that person you talking about,
and then invite somebody else, right? Instead of you guys all just sitting in a notification like, "Hey, Chris, Tim, and Ed, ding, 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 let's play this game." And then everybody hop in. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this will make all that easier.
I'm following you now.
But I see what you're saying. But at the same time, I've always been a little I've never used Discord yet for gaming chat, but kind of because I feel about it like I do about the Nintendo app. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing ever that I have to open this app.
Yeah, no, I totally am in agreement that, I mean, honestly, at least on the PC side, PC and Xbox, obviously it doesn't extend to Switch because they can all team up. I don't understand yet why they have not just made it to where why can't a PC person and Xbox person just party up on Xbox Live chat? I mean, it extends. Xbox Live exists on PC and on the console side. Because I'm in full agreement that in-game party systems on PS4 and on Xbox One are way better than an in-game chat lobby. The codecs and voice codecs, it's always hot trash in there. But yes, it's great to have the option. Because I mean. It makes sense why, Switch and Xbox players or PC players can't get into a unified party system because, there's no Xbox Live on the Switch.
That's right.
But that would be the most preference. But I mean, I guess I'm very curious what the audio quality is.
Even with their version of Live coming out, they're still saying that we might have to use the app. Which just is ridiculous. Anyway.
It'll get there at some point.
Chris, what else you got?
So Xbox Games Pass, when it was announced, I don't think they ever actually used the term Netflix because I don't think they wanted to necessarily tie themselves to that. But they basically said, hey, we're going to do things similar to Netflix where you're going to have your access to your 100 games and some games are going to leave some of the time and then other games are going to filter in. And I think this is the first round of games that are going to be set to leaving the Game Pass. They're going to be leaving the Games Pass starting as of May 31st. And there's 21 titles that are going to be leaving. This kind of has a few people up in arms because I don't think they expected that many to be leaving in one fell swoop. And I don't think it's been announced yet which games are going to be filtering in to replace that. Because I think, if I remember right, the guarantee is that at any given time, you'll have access to at least 100 digital games.
Right.
So just a list of the ones that are going to be leaving on Xbox 360. We have BioShock, BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite, The Blob 2, Borderlands, Dead Rising 2, Case Zero, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, Dig Dug, Soul Calibur, Final Fight Double Impact, Sega Vintage Collection, Operation Flashpoint, Bionic Commando, Pac-Man Championship Edition, Bound Flames, Scared 3, Another Sega Vintage Collection, XCOM Enemy Within, and then on the Xbox One side, Defense Grid 2 and Blood Bowl 2. And a lot of people are super bummed about, specifically about the BioShock collection getting removed from there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
But
I
that's
feel like
only for
there's
the 360.
yeah, those are 360 versions of them. The only two on the list that are Xbox One games that are leaving is Defense Grid 2 and Blood Bowl 2. And I know that the ratio of games on there, that the vast majority of the Games Pass games are 360 backwards compatible games. So I'm not exactly sure how much losing these two Xbox One games puts a dent in the Xbox One specific games that are on there.
Right.
But I feel like I've seen a lot of hubbub about this and a lot of people upset. It's like they kind of told you this was going to be the case going in, that games were going to filter in, games are going to leave. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I guess maybe the number, the 21 games, is a little bit of a bigger deal than what they thought. But I mean, I'm sure there's 21 movies and TV series that leave Netflix when a new one's filtered in. It just doesn't get the press. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So clearly they have data that says what's popular and what's not. I'm sure they have those kind of numbers and they can determine whether or not, well, this isn't working, so let's pull this one and see.
And one other thing that is a little bit, kind of gives you a little bit of peek behind the curtain in a way. I believe the majority, not all, but a big chunk of these games are 2K published games. So it seems like a big chunk of it's tied to like a deal they have with 2K where it's like, okay, we're only having these of your catalog for this long, and maybe that contract is up and they decided not to renew or whatever. Who knows? I mean, we'll have to see in the next big one where they filter some out and bring some more in, how that's going to go. But I mean, I guess if any of those games are the ones that you were looking forward to playing, you've got until the 31st of this month, which is around the corner. So you need to get on it. But at least you got the heads up and you can take care of that before they're filtered out of the Games Pass.
Yeah, seriously. Lord of mercy. That's always the hard thing, right? Like the streaming thing always seems like a great idea, or that kind of thing like you're talking about, but then, it doesn't match wits with, the Xbox Live games that are free every month, or the PlayStation games that are live, because you're like, oh, that's right, they can take them. That sucks.
Right.
If I remember right, I think in the early days of PlayStation Plus, it was kind of the same thing where a game would be added to PlayStation Plus and you had access to the library. As long as you were a subscriber, you had access to the library, and every now and then games would leave. And then somewhere along the way, they changed it to where whatever games are available, they're available during a certain time frame. And if you grab it, as long as you remain a Plus subscriber, you have access to that game always, even if when it's the next month and it's now no longer part of the availability. Right. So it was kind of a similar situation until they changed models. But yeah, I guess if nothing else, it gives you incentive to be on your toes if you have that kind of subscription. Yeah, right. Take advantage while the iron's hot.
Exactly. There is a brand new game called Fork Parker's Crunch Out.
Yeah. Coming right next to Spoon Snapper's Scoop Up.
Coming for the Super Nintendo.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm out.
It's really interesting. So Fork Parker's Crunch Out is about a game development, like the dangers of development crunch. And trying to get a game out on time, and how people are treated and all this stuff, and all its all the proceeds are going to take this, which is a mental health focused gaming charity.
Oh wow! All right.
And so I just thought this was hilarious. I mean, it's coming in the box, it's coming in the cartridge, and you can play it in your SNES, your old school SNES. You can't play it in the SNES Classic Mini. I don't know why, but you can't play it in that. But you can still play it in your SNES. And I just thought it was really, it kind of has that same vibe as like a Dev Story or whatever that game was called. And so it's just old school, and it's called Crunch Out, which I thought was hilarious. And it's all about crunching that game out.
Nice.
Right? Interesting.
And I like the proceeds are going to charity.
I love that. Yeah. That's great.
We've kind of talked about it the last couple months. It feels like it was like some Telltale stuff that went on, and that kind of brought some other people out of the woodwork. Like, that's right, they work us too hard. And anybody that's in the arts, especially, I feel like knows this pressure. You know what I'm saying? I see Toby go through it. I see other artists go through it where the labels like, we need to put this out in August. And they're like, okay. And so that push to get it there, and then you're up all night listening to mixes and texting back and forth with
burnout, man.
Oh yeah, texting back and forth with the mastering guy, and like, okay, we got a new version. It's up on the FTP, and then can you download it and do the and it's whoop,
Yeah,
and you push it to the very end. So that's definitely a real thing. I've never seen it on in person. I've never seen it with a team of 100 people, and what that would look like for somebody like Blizzard or Valve or even Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog, and see what that looks like. But it's got to be similar, when the company says, hey, this is coming out this day. Of course, we're all used to it being pushed back, but I don't know if they operate in the, it'll be pushed back, it's fine. I think they try to operate in the, let's hit that first release date,
Right.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, we've all talked about it. I do not mind a pushback because it'll make the game better. Minds are a little bit clearer. You're not as stressed out. So if it has to get pushed back, it gets pushed back.
That's how some people view it.
Yeah, some others, not so much.
Others are the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else you got, Christopher?
So PlayStation developer Polyphony Digital has recently hit a pretty good milestone for them. Their Polyphony Digital is the one who is responsible for the Gran Turismo franchise.
Oh, wow.
And they have hit a milestone of 80.4 million copies sold worldwide. Now, the crazy kicker is, even though that's an amazing number, that's over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
That took them for that series. So every game in that series to hit that. And I feel like GTA 5 hit that like last month or something crazy. Something crazy.
The third week.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I mean, I don't mean to diminish, because 80 million of anything sold is a really good deal, and they've had representation on every single PlayStation console. And with the kind of main one, or the one that garnered the most success of an individual copy, was Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec on the PlayStation 2. It sold 15 million copies worldwide. And that's an amazing achievement. But man, I was reading this story and I was like, oh, that's great. But man, that GTA 5 kind of like dwarfs this. If nothing else, it like underscores their great achievement, but also it just really underscores the monolith that is GTA 5. Because it's just ridiculous that it's taken them 20 years to hit this amazing number, and GTA 5's over here like, hold my beer, I'm going to put out a game real quick and make this happen.
Oh, it's so true. Golly. We were talking about this a little bit on the Twitter this week. And it was a little surprising to people. Boss Key Productions, the guys who made Lawbreakers and Radical Heights, is closing the doors already.
And they just put out Radical Heights. Granted, it was free to play, but like it just hit. Yeah.
And so it was kind of came as a shock to a lot of people. They were like, oh man, I had fun with Lawbreakers. And it's like, it's kind of one of those things where people are, it's so weird when you're not involved with something closely, or something doesn't hit big. It's got to be expensive to put out a game that does like a D plus C minus.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Lawbreakers came out and did not do what it wanted to do. Came out back in 2014. And even though, it was, I played it. Ed, did you play it?
No, I can't even remember what it is.
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter, kind of akin to Quake or Unreal Tournament, kind of that fast-paced first-person shooter.
Also had a lot of anti-gravity kind of stuff, or low-gravity environment stuff to it.
And jumping and, exactly. And it's just really fast-paced. And I played it for a little bit, but man, to see something not take hold. And then Radical Heights, I don't know how it's been doing. I haven't tried it, or I don't really know.
I feel
what
like its
about
reception,
either.
it got some really good reception for being a very, very, very alpha product. I mean, people knew what it was, so like, okay, we can forgive some of these bugs, but just the concepts that they were messing with, kind of turning the battle royale genre and giving it a little bit of their own twist to it. I feel like most people were kind of digging it. Of what I saw anyways. I never played it because it was PC only, so.
Right. And you said it was free?
Yes, I believe it was free to play.
And so it just kind of sucks that they're having to close up shop, because how much work has to go into these games.
It's got to be backbreaking for them to be like, okay, well, we didn't.
And like Gabe said, just kind of out of the blue, like unexpected, which we knew that their Lawbreakers didn't do that great and everything, but the fact that they had just put out that game made you think, okay, well, they turned the corner and they're trying this new thing. And
yeah, because like, I mean, how many games don't do that great? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there's a lot more do not great than do great.
Yes.
And so,
yeah, it's very true.
You know, but like, it's so interesting because when I was reading the story from GameSpot, this is what I always wonder. I'm, you know, when I listen to things like podcasts like How I Built This, or you know, Planet Money, where they're talking to somebody who started a company. I'm always wondering how they get over the hump of like, you know, Jenny's Ice Cream. I was listening to that podcast and they were saying, she said that something was found, trace amounts of something was found in the ice cream. They had to recall. Yeah, Listeria. They had to recall all of it. And you're like, how do you get through that where you have no ice cream out there and ice cream is your business? You know, and how many people we've heard like went bankrupt and then, you know, or Damon John from Fubu, like his mom had to put their house, you know, they mortgaged their house and, you know, try to use that money. And so you're like, dang it. And so you see these things and this is the thing that makes sense to me. Man, I put together a team. We worked tirelessly. We put out a game. It didn't do great. We were like, let's push through. We put out another one. People liked it, but it's free. And we just couldn't make it. You know? And so I'm hoping that out of the ashes, something happens here. But it's just really sad because I can only I can put myself in his shoes. And I'm like, that's got to be the toughest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, anytime that you do something that you're passionate about and it doesn't, you can't support yourself doing it, you know, that's,
yes,
you know, and you want it and you want to, you know, that's tough.
Yeah. And he kind of, he put up a note and he says, as for myself, I'm going to take some time off. And this is Blazinski talking, the owner of the startup.
Yes.
As for myself, I'm going to take some time off and reflect. I need to focus on myself and family, as well as my Aussie, Teddy, who is slowly fading from us. Video games will forever be a part of who I am, and I hope to make something new again someday. However, I need to withdraw and take this time. And it's just like, sounds heartbreaking to me.
It does.
Yeah, it really does.
But it sounds needed. It sounds like he just needs to do that. And you know what? He's going to get picked up and it's going to be totally fine.
I know, but I just don't know how do like, I own a company that I have employees that are looking to me to pay their bills. I have to close the doors after, I'm imagine hundreds of hard conversations. I have to close the doors. Then now, like, what do you go do to continue to provide for your family?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess, I mean, you know, if it was me, I'd just be at the mall. And they'd be like, hey, didn't you used to be with Toby? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm at the mall now. Toby, quit.
I love that you just go straight to the mall.
Well, I just know that's like the quickest place hiring.
Yeah, it's true.
I remember freaking being in that Apple store. I got an Android phone.
Exactly.
Here's what you work at a mall, Gabe? In a kiosk?
Yeah, I sold yo-yos.
Yes, that's what it
was. So I'm slightly better at a yo-yo than I should be.
I get it, man. It happened to me back when I worked for a record label. We all got laid off, and that's how I started my company. So good things can come out of it, but it is the scariest thing to go home and be like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't have a job.
Right.
And where am I going to get money for next month?
Yeah,
and, you know,
especially when you're the guy in charge.
That's what I was about to say. The only difference there with Tim's picture is that he worked for somebody that laid everybody off. This guy worked for himself and had to lay everybody off. Yep. You know, so I hope that everything goes good for Mr. Blazinski, Cliff Blazinski.
Absolutely.
And everybody affected,
And everybody affected. I know it's easier. I would imagine for the people that worked under him, it might be easier to spread out and go find stuff. But for Cliff and the other founders, man, I hope that, you know, best to you as you move forward. And I hope this isn't the last that we hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Chris, what else you got?
Well, keeping with the whole unexpected thing, GameStop's CEO just kind of abruptly quit, and
Yeah,
he had
man.
only been on the job for 3 months.
Yeah, that was fast.
His
Well-
reasoning was for personal reasons, and his resignation was effective immediately.
Really?
He was put into place as the CEO on February of 2018. And now it's not like he was brand new to GameStop either. He was a 16-year veteran. So he had been at the company for a long time, but in the CEO role, he was only there for 3 months.
Wow.
And so Daniel DiMatteo is the executive chairman of the board of directors. He's now going to be the interim CEO for a little while they figure it out what it is they're going to do and who they're going to put into that role. And so it does say that that in March, GameStop had reported positive growth in sales of games and collectibles at their stores, mostly driven by sales of the Nintendo Switch. So in the immediate, it couldn't have been because, the company was performing horribly for the 3-month stint that he was the CEO.
Right. He had to turn it around in 3 months.
Yeah, so that kind of lends a bit of credence to the whole or personal reasons. I mean, who know, maybe it might be something health related or something. Everybody needs a break here and there. And as I said before, he was an actual 16-year veteran of the company. Just in the CEO role, it's very much like a side eye, like, what? When you find out,
it definitely
the
feels
CEO
like
is just
that.
like, I'm about.
Yeah, it's
after
like,
3 months
but you
on the
just
job.
got here.
I
We
know.
haven't even changed the name on the door.
I know. We were just now etching the new piece of glass. I mean, what's the deal here?
Right.
We're only halfway through.
Right.
Oh, man.
So, like, now we got to start over. Give me my whiteout.
white out. That's going to work on etched glass.
Oh, man. So, Milla Jovovich,
Sure.
is that how you say that?
No.
Sweet.
But hey, I like your version.
Jovovich.
I like your version.
From that Bruce Willis space movie?
Well, yes, from The Fifth Element.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
And-
there you go. There you go.
Yes. And then you would also know her from Resident Evil or Resident Evil or Resident Evil
Resident Evil.
or Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah.
And the
that one.
return of Resident Evil.
Or
Resident
that
Evil.
one magazine ad or Resident Evil.
She has teamed up again with
Yeah,
Capcom
Yes, she has.
and
Oh,
talking
boy.
about starring in the Monster Hunter movie,
Oh,
which sounds like a terrible idea.
that sounds horrible.
I don't know. Big monsters,
Here's the thing, though.
CGI monsters. That sounds like a thing that would happen.
The Monster Hunter, it is. I mean, The Rock is doing it. A lot of people are doing it.
Yeah, Rampage.
Right.
Rampage, yeah. But the Monster Hunter movie is said to have a budget of $50 million.
Ooh.
And that
Oh,
seems
no, that's
like
not good. That's
not
not good.
very much money.
That is
no.
not
That's
a lot.
not good at all.
Mia
that's
is
like-
probably 10 of that.
Straight
Yeah.
release, no theater. Do not pass go. Just pick up and watch, maybe.
They're going to be using like little toy monsters coming up.
That's what I'm saying. So for a movie that's going to rely so heavily
Yep.
on the computer graphics,
It's
50
going to be on the
million.
Sci-Fi Channel for sure.
It's going to be Sharknado.
Yeah, now if this is going to be
Yeah.
a Netflix series or something, then 50 million is actually a pretty good budget.
we don't know yet. But yeah, I don't know if they make those decisions always until like they're shooting it. Like, I think we should probably just go to Netflix with this. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
but
DVD.
It's going to be directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who directed 4 out of the 6 Resident Evil films, and also did the 1995's Mortal Kombat. So
Oh,
he's
that
known-
gem.
he's known to
Oh.
do a video game or 5.
Or 2.
Did he also
Or
do the
5.
Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. But so we know that even though the Resident Evil movies might not have been everyone's cup of tea, they did make a lot of money.
They
And
did.
So
They
I
did.
don't know if that's because of Milla or if that's because it's Resident Evil or somewhere weirdly in the middle. So we'll see. But $50 million for a full CGI movie
Man,
just doesn't seem like enough.
Doesn't seem enough.
I wish you luck.
Yeah, I wish Monster Hunter was on the Switch because I want to play
Godspeed,
it,
Fifth Element.
but I'm not playing it on the PlayStation.
Hmm.
Chris, you're out.
I am out.
Edward,
Yes, sir.
what's going on over in the YouTube channel?
Over on the YouTube, we've got a couple new videos this week. Some Overwatch live stream, and then Gabe playing Detroit, Chris playing Detroit, and I was talking to Gabe earlier this week. I was a little bummed in that YouTube has gotten rid of annotations, and if
multiple annotations,
right? If you put annotations altogether, actually.
Oh, really?
If you put annotations on your videos, they're still there, but you can't make new ones. They've introduced something new called cards, and basically that means what we had planned for Detroit was kind of a choose your own adventure on each of the videos, and every time someone made a different decision, we were going to annotate it and be like, oh, click here to see what happens if this happened, and then oh, now you're watching Chris's video. And with cards, you can't click to the same video more than once. So we do have them. I still call it annotated, but I did annotate all three of my playthrough, Gabe's and Chris's, but each one only has two different choices. So, for instance, with Chris's, you can find out what would happen if he did find what the victim dropped, or in mine, what happened if I kept the gun rather than leave the gun away. So it was kind of cool to see.
So
Gabe
you can do
Chris,
the big moments, maybe.
Exactly. So yeah, and that's what I did. Is like each one will have two big moments where it'll go to either Gabe, Chris, or my playthrough. Yeah, and so yeah, it was just kind of cool to still see the difference. You know, I left the gun where it was. Gabe kept the gun. Chris didn't even find the gun. You know. So.
Yeah, I found the case where I saw that. Oh yeah, he had taken homeboy's gun, but I didn't. Yeah, I never found a gun.
Right. But so you can kind of go through and have kind of a mini choose your own adventure over there on the YouTubes. Looking at our top 10 for this week, for the week of May 8th through the 14th. Number 10, Watch Dogs 2, Part 6, Bottom Dollar Complete. Number 9, Hue Part 4, Pink. Number 8, the Overwatch live stream. Number 7, Gabe plays the Detroit Become Human demo.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Nice.
Laurel.
Number 6, Watch Dogs 2, Part 48, Ghost Signals. Number 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp. Number 4, Hue Part 10, University. Number 3, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Number 3.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Wow.
E3 about to crank up.
People getting excited for E3 and seeing conferences and stuff.
And it's released next month.
That's totally what it is. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, Paint Job. Number 1, Hue Part 11,
I was
The
hoping to get
Ending.
booted. Dang it.
Oh, wow.
Over on iTunes, we've got some new reviews going on
We
over there.
do?
Look at that.
Yay.
Man,
Hit us
that
up.
makes me
Hey.
so happy.
This is
Tell him, Ed.
from free. This person's name is Freedom's Never Free, and they write.
It's true.
Like
It is true.
they say they bring the news like most VG podcasts, but for me, that's only half the fun. I really enjoy finding out what's going on with the guys and what they're playing. They've responded to me many times on Twitter and seem to have a great community. Good luck on 300 more.
Hey.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Thank
here's
you.
See you in episode 600.
I love that.
2 stars.
5 stars. I got 2
5 stars. Okay, good.
Nice.
This one is from Liberty Hound 6578.
Liberty
Subject-
is not free, though. I hope that
No.
they know.
The subject, my new favorite podcast.
Yes.
This says, I
Yes.
recently discovered the MTTG podcast, and it's become my favorite. It's
Oh my
exactly what
gosh.
I've been looking for. I'm married, 2 young children, active duty U.S. Navy senior chief petty officer.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you for being petty.
Thank
Yes.
you, sir.
Stationed
Right.
in Yokosuka, Japan.
Oh,
Really?
we're coming to you.
Oh, wow.
Look
We
at
are
that.
coming to you,
Can we
brother.
come over?
Can we come over?
Let's have 300 at your house.
Exactly. Can I bring 40 of my friends?
He goes on to say, a Christian and I love my games. It's difficult to find the time to get my gaming in, especially living in Japan for 9 years. But listening to the guys on MTTG with similar lifestyles definitely helps. Keep up the great work and the hilarious dad jokes.
Yes.
Lifelong listener here on the other side of the planet. God bless and keep on gaming.
Thank you
That is
so much,
so
man.
cool.
Love
That
both
just
of those.
made my day.
I'm not going to
Yes.
stop smiling.
I know,
Nope.
right? That's so cool.
Not-
Thank you guys.
Jenny's going to be like, what are you smiling about?
Someone said something nice about me.
I'm like, don't worry about it. Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
The internet can be
fine.
a beautiful place.
That's right.
Man, that is amazing. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
for
so
your
cool.
service.
That was
Thank you
awesome.
for your
Yeah.
kind words. Thank you for everything.
Yes.
We'll
Thank you for inviting me over for dinner. The answer
We're
is
on the
no
next.
problem.
We're on the
I'll be right
next
over.
flight over. We are on the next flight over.
Yeah.
We'll
His
come
cruise
hang.
ship, 200 stop cruise ship is almost there.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
I'm just stay on the plane when they drop everybody else off in Canada.
There you go.
Like,
Exactly.
Gabe, are you coming? Be like, I think I'm gonna keep going.
I'm gonna see where this goes.
Exactly.
See where this takes me.
I don't know if I'm going in the right direction or not, but I will get there.
I'll find a way.
Yeah. Can y'all gas up? Y'all want no problems.
And
I'll
some
be
extra
here.
peanuts, please. I need some peanuts, please.
Yes.
Oh man. Thanks, Edward. And thank
Yeah.
you for the reviews. That is
Yes,
thank
you
super
guys.
sweet.
Yeah, man.
We really it's awesome. It's fun to read them and hear what they say. I used
Yes.
to be extremely crazy about checking the reviews. When the podcast was in infancy, I was like, did we get any reviews? Did we get any reviews? And I was like, okay, sweet. Still just me and Tim.
And our wives commenting.
Exactly. Our wives through my fingers.
That's right.
These guys sound extremely handsome. 5 stars.
That's
5
right.
stars for handsomeness.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked, what entertainment property do you wish was popular now so it would have the chance to become a skin in a game? Weird question, I know. Over on Twitter, the Frozen Gamer at Frozen Gamer 1987. I would want the Wheel of Time franchise to be popular. After the TV show hits, it probably will be, but we don't know yet when that will happen.
I don't know that one.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh,
Wheel
the Wheel
Time?
of Time.
Is that like a
don't know.
sci-fi show or something? Sounds like
I
it would
don't know,
be
but
time
it's a
travel or
A
something.
book series, maybe?
It sounds cool.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Chris R. Smith at Fuzzhead23. My first thought when you guys were starting to discuss this was Thundercats. Cheered when Chris mentioned it. Wifey says Care Bears. Facepalm.
yes. Care Bears would be amazing.
Care Bear.
That would be awesome.
That was a good one. Oh,
Care
Care
Bears
Bears.
share. Yeah,
That's right.
Oh,
that-
Their bullets would emit from their stomach.
exactly.
right.
Exactly.
That's such a wife answer too.
What
I
a
love
great,
that.
But what a great answer.
Oh, it
too.
I
is.
just
That's
love that his
amazing.
wife was listening.
I know.
even had,
Yeah, right.
had something to say.
And
I
you know
said
what? It
Care
makes
Bears.
sense. They have enough of the bears; it could easily work. You know.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Tons of
Definitely.
them.
That's true. Gabriel at Gabe56 Life.
Mm.
Man, I'm going to have to go with the cartoon Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Best cartoon
Oh.
ever for my childhood. I
You
never
agree,
watched
Ed?
Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
I never saw it.
You didn't?
I heard of it, of course, but I never saw it.
That doesn't seem right.
No. Mm-mm.
Yaquez Major or Yaquez Mayor
Mejor.
at Catjack 1997. Firefly. Need the brown coat skin. Anybody watch that?
You know, I never
Firefly?
watched.
No,
I know
never
it was
did.
super popular,
No.
but I never watched Fire. Wasn't that a cable show, like on Sci-Fi Channel or something like that?
You know,
I'm not
I
even
always
sure.
had cable growing up, so I don't know the difference.
I didn't have it. So there were many shows. If a show got popular and I didn't watch it, usually that was because the reason. And so
Yeah.
I feel like that
Right.
was a cable show, and that's the reason I never checked it out.
I got you. Over on Facebook, Mike Doherty, SNL skits. Junkrat as Mango would be
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Yes.
Reinhardt as Robert Goulet.
Oh, that's perfect.
And Roadhog as El Nino or Matt Foley.
Oh my gosh, that's
Wow.
amazing.
That would be, who's going to be the Spartans? The Spartan cheerleaders. That would be a good one to have. My first thought was Junkrat and
and Tracer, yeah.
Oh yeah, Tracer and Sombra.
No, it was a guy and a girl.
Great idea.
Well, I know, but I mean,
I got you.
I don't know that it's always going to work out to where we have the right ratio of people.
I just think
so
it'd be hilarious to have
switching
Reaper
around.
and Tracer be
Oh, that's
the
so
Spartan
good.
cheerleaders.
Doomfist
What
going to
a
be the
great
DJ
call.
from the Quiet Storm.
Moira would be the church lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
That's
What a-
funny.
That's
so
a great
good.
call.
That is
That's
a
Itchy
really
and
good
Hanzo
one.
could be Hans and Franz.
Hans and Franz. Oh my gosh.
They want to pump you up.
Amazing.
I want Soldier to be one of the guys from the Roxbury.
No, yeah, absolutely. Night at the Roxbury.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Oh my gosh,
No,
that's so good.
What is
So
love? Gosh,
That needs to be his dance emote. Him and Reaper.
That's
they're
what
just
I'm
doing the
saying.
head bob.
They just standing
Yeah,
there
man.
doing the
Yeah.
head bob, leaning up against the
Oh.
wall.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
You want to
Man,
dance?
that
You,
is
me, him, you,
awesome.
me, him. Yep. Oh.
May could be Pam. What was it, Pam?
Oh, yes.
What was it? What was that
Yes,
girl's name?
Pat.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
Pat.
Oh my gosh, that's
Oh
perfect.
no.
What? Is
Oh,
that
I
bad?
gotta go. I gotta go to the grocery store.
Gotta go to the grocery
Yeah, that's strangely would fit very well for her to have
That's
that
what I'm
skin.
saying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ed is in a puddle of tears right now.
Can Doomfist be Gumby?
Oh,
And then cigar.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh shoot.
gosh.
Oh, that is brilliant. Well played. Well
Wow, that's
played.
amazing.
yeah,
I
I think
love
that
that
one's
so
the best
much.
out of them all. Yeah, it's
That's
way
the
better
best
than
one.
ours.
I should have waited till the end to read that one.
Yeah,
That was good.
How you gonna follow that one?
With Jeff Swan, he said,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just kidding.
Bring it.
He said, I mean, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, right? That's what you were assuming the answer would be, I'm guessing. That's funny. Captain Planet. I loved that cartoon, boy. Golly.
Farah could be Captain Planet since he flew,
That's right. He did fly.
although he was a guy.
That's okay, though. We're not discriminating, right?
That's
like
true.
you said. That's right.
That's true.
Ratio.
Yeah.
Earth,
Him?
fire,
Him?
wind, water, heart, go planet. Oh, man.
With all our
Nice.
powers
I loved that cartoon.
combined.
Yeah, I am Captain Planet. I could continue to sing literally the whole song word for word. No problem.
Wow.
Randy Beard.
Did you stroke halfway through?
I'm just going with Baird. Randy Baird says
Okay.
Tron. Tron would be really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would look cool.
Matthew Serta put up a picture, and I can't remember who that is. But there's a bunch of bears like in the woods. It looks like
It's on Facebook.
it's on Facebook. It looks like Robin Hood, but it's not Robin Hood. But I
it
recognize
it's
the
not the-
bears, but
They're not the Berenstein Bears?
no Berenstain bears.
Mm.
Stain.
Whatever.
I don't know who it is, but I recognize him. But I was like, shoot, I don't know who that is, but I want to say who it is, but I have no idea.
Isn't that
Is that the
Berenstain
gummy
Bears?
bears?
Oh, yes. I think it
Did
is
they have a
Gummy
cartoon,
Bears.
the Gummy Bears?
They did.
Shut
One way to
up.
find out. Gummy.
I think it is Gummy Bears.
I never saw
Good
it,
call.
but I know there was a cartoon.
Yep, it's Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears.
Yep. Gummy Bears here and
shut
there
my
and
mouth.
everywhere. Yep.
The Gummy Bears. Well, that would be funny.
Nice. That would be hilarious.
There we
Mm.
go. I like that.
And wrong.
I'll shoot each other. Oh man. So I mean, he was on the same thing as that wife that said Care Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Got the same thing.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Over on Discordia, we got Fluxel, another one. Firefly, Captain Maul skin in Fortnite, please. That was actually a pretty tough question since most of my favorites are popular right now. Oh, excuse us.
Yeah.
Mr. Ham.
Excuse us for challenging your mind.
Mr. Ham, this is right up Ed's alley. The Muppets meet Overwatch. Running around as Kermit and getting chased by Miss Piggy would be hilarious. There's that dude that throws fish at people, and then Chef would just quote unquote cook things and use them as weapons while also saying random things that make no sense. The whole band is full of potential characters to play as, especially Animal. Ask Ed for more ideas. He probably knows more names.
Didn't we touch on that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we did.
You said Muppets.
Yeah, okay.
But it was about
it was a slightly different question, but similar. Yeah.
I was asking you where you got your comedy from. You said Muppets.
Oh, okay. That's so
he
funny.
said, including the guy that throws fists. Muppet skins. I don't play Overwatch, but I would most certainly consider it if some Jen Henson-esque skins.
That'd be amazing.
Right? That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then they just went on a conversation about Muppets after that.
Sweet.
As they
There
do.
you go.
Moving on.
Thank you so much for the questions.
All right.
Chris is like, let's keep this steamboat going. We're on a tight schedule here. Let's go.
You guys know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the game.
We got a question to get to.
Yeah, I forgot. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Oh, shoot. Like Ed said, youtube.com/married to the games. Come check out the shop on marriedtothegames.com. We got mugs. We got some hoodies. We got some shirts.
Some mugs.
We got some controller skins so you can rep Married to the Games.
Mm-hmm.
Now on Patreon at patreon.com/MTTG. And also join our Extra Life team, extra-life.org/team/MTTG. Woo. And Router.
Rate us on iTunes so we can help Chris mulch the beds, drive with Ed to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, get strep throat with Gabe, and help Tim crush the elementary school talent show by flipping water bottles.
There you go.
It's only going to take 15 tries. What? She didn't place.
I'm just going to say now, can we just give it to Tim every week? Because he's always the most prepared.
No, that's not the point.
I know it's
not the
not.
point.
I'm just trying to get out of it.
You know, it's funny. I went back and somebody emailed Tim saying why they called me a jerk on the
Yes, I
reviews.
forwarded that
Did you
to
guys?
Yep.
Did you guys read that email?
Yes.
It's so
forgot
perfect.
about
So
that.
the backstory is I gave the rate us on iTunes to Chris 3 weeks in a row. And the first week he really wasn't prepared. And then the next week, because I never do them back to back, he really, really wasn't prepared.
It was perfect.
And then we gave it to him a third week in a row. He said, rate us on iTunes because Gabe is a jerk.
He's a jerk.
That was right. That was funny.
So
that was
brother, I
really
was
great.
cracking up.
I love how our community is so observant about everything. It's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is
in
the
fact,
best.
the other day on I was at work and somebody had mentioned something. And I was like, oh, which was that episode where I had said, hey, I feel like I'm going to win the dance or the lip sync battle.
Oh,
And I just put on Discord, I said, hey, this is like, I'm sure nobody knows this, but anybody remember which show that was? Because I couldn't find it. And like within a minute or two, it was like, bam, here's your answer. I was like, oh my gosh.
That was
That's
impressive.
amazing.
Y'all are amazing.
That's really good.
That
That's
was awesome.
I think it was Patrick. And I was like, geez, hats off to you, sir.
That's right, man.
I like it. Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're going to start with Discord. We're going to start with Calmed Fury. Rage 2 was officially announced. What other dead franchise from 7+ years ago would you like to see come back? Mine would be Halo. Matt Lighty's not going to like this. Mine would be Halo because it's been dead since Halo 4. Shots fired.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Shots fired.
Jeez Louise.
I believe Lighty
That
commented on that too. Yeah.
Ooh,
That's so
dead
funny.
franchises.
So 7+ years ago, dead franchise would you like to see come back?
I don't know if it's been 7 years because I can't remember when the last one came out because there was one on PS3, but I feel like my instant answer is Twisted Metal.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah,
good
there
one.
you go.
Good one.
Right?
Ed?
It's funny because my initial, the very first thing I thought of without thinking was, Red Dead Redemption. And I was like, oh, wait, we're getting that.
Yeah. Your wish has been granted, or it's going to be granted.
Yes. I wish they would do another, what was the Rockstar one? L.A. Noire, a new one, rather than just continuing to release the old one.
I like that.
Back in the day, I didn't play that or Heavy Rain, but I always got them confused. I always thought they were the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
L.A. Noire is fantastic.
I didn't play that one either.
Not really a franchise, I guess, but
no,
I would like it to be.
I mean, I would do it. It might have been 5 years, but I'd do Dead Space again.
Yeah.
I love that franchise. I don't know why. I just gravitated to it, and I ended up. I played the first. I watched Dead Space 2, and then went back and played Dead Space 1 first, then played 2, then played 3. So yeah, I would do that again. Those were good.
There you go.
Nice.
I would say I say Burnout.
Yeah, right.
Ooh,
Well,
yeah.
there you go.
Like a good one.
With the crash thing in there.
Yes.
Like done right. I don't know what's taking y'all so long. People want it.
Right.
But how many copies I got to buy by myself for y'all to do it?
That's right.
That or the do you guys remember Driver?
The movie?
Nope.
No, the video game. We're talking about video games.
Would that have been a PS2 game?
The first one came out on
I feel like I can remember.
It was like 99.
I feel like I can remember the cover.
Yeah, Driver, man, that game was. I was in high school. That game was dope. Yeah, I liked that game.
Nice.
So they've had a bunch of them. They've had Driver, Driver 2, Driver 3, Driver Parallel Lines, Driver 76, Driver San Francisco.
Was it
Driver
an arcade
Renegade
game
3D,
as well?
Driver Speedboat Paradise? No.
Wow.
I could have sworn I
Just
played
rattling
something
them
like
off.
that as a arcade game, but I don't remember a console game.
The first one was on PS1.
Wow.
The latest one was on the Android and iOS devices, but it's free to play. It came out in 2014.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Good question all around.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Nova Beyond, Patrick Novacell, with Last of Us 2 coming out next month, do you think Ellie or Joel will die in this one?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. It's got to be, right?
It'll be Joel.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Or maybe they're
Or,
already
I
dead.
guess they could just replay the beginning of the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, Joel could live and Ellie die. I mean, that would be the better story, I think. But people are saying
think so?
Joel's dead already.
Yeah. So
I know there's all kinds of speculation. So we'll see.
If I had to choose one, I'd rather Ellie die. But Joel is old.
Mhm.
Right.
And so, like, I don't want
Joel's
to
the one
play
that does the most work.
Last of Us 3 with an 80-year-old Joel.
Right.
That doesn't sound fun.
I know,
beats you
right?
senseless with his walker.
Looking
Put
at
attachments
you,
on his
Indiana
walker.
Jones 5.
That's right.
Yeah.
Seriously, don't do
That's
it.
right. Nope.
There's only so much quick editing you can do to make Harrison Ford look like he's running fast.
That's right. That's right. Good question. Thank you. Jared Orr, since it seems that spring is finally here, what is your favorite thing about spring? I love it when it's warm enough to go outside without a shirt on. Ooh, it might sound odd, but mowing the
Lord have mercy.
It might sound odd, but mowing the grass without a shirt on is one of my favorite chores. That is, if one can have a favorite chore. I love spring.
I do not
You know
do
what's
that.
funny?
I love
No.
the detail of no shirt.
I know, with no shirt.
Really funny.
I feel like we haven't had really much of a spring because it was kind of cool and rainy for a long time, and now it's 100 degrees in mid-May, and normally this is like July weather.
Seriously.
So it's been a little odd, but I just love seeing the trees come back and budding, and the allergies are fantastic, and it's just it's just a good time. I just love when it starts getting warmer. You can be outside a little bit more.
It's kind of the same boat here where spring was a bit short. And so there's many days here in Texas where it's been hot. But when it is that small little time, when it is kind of nice and cool, I love especially now at the new house, because we have a really nice back patio. I like just sitting out on the patio, listening to the birds and whatnot, and just having dinner on the patio.
Man.
We have a TV out on the patio now, so I can just hang out there for a while. That's what I really
perfect.
enjoy about spring.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we the back of our house has a tree line that leads to the park,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like just seeing those trees fill back in.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
for spring, everything falls off, and so you can see straight through to the park from our kitchen window during the fall and winter. And so during spring, and all the leaves are kind of coming back, and then like you kind of get your privacy back, and just everything comes in bloom. I think that's my favorite part of spring. That and probably if I ever make it to a garage sale. I feel like garage sales start kicking back up in spring.
Yeah, they do. I like it when it gets warm enough that you can, like, we walk downtown
with your shirt off.
Hey,
yeah,
not with your shirt off, mowing the lawn.
Exactly.
Mowing your neighbor's lawn
Wave at
along
people
the
and
way.
be like, oh man, that's right. I don't work out that often. I should put my shirt back on.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Chris the Rock, when will the next generation of consoles be announced? Chris?
2019?
It is.
Wait. You think they'll come out in 2019 or not be announced until 2019?
Announced. I
So
think it'll be
E3 next year.
I don't even think it'll be E3. I think it'll continue the trend of having their own standalone.
I think you're
thing.
right. I think if we get information about a Sony press conference in the middle of February or March or somewhere, it's gonna be PS5.
I think the more likely answer is 2020, but I'm gonna go with 2019.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
like that.
announced. I'm gonna say teased. Yeah, 2019 for sure.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
And I
I'm
don't think
good
we're
with
going to
that
hear
too.
anything from Xbox for a couple more years, because with the One X just coming out, I just don't feel like they're in any kind of position where they need to do another an iteration past that. I mean, that thing's already the top of the pack and is
they
going
can't
to be
use
for a
it to
while.
its fullest yet.
Yeah, so I feel like they're sitting pretty for a good while, because whatever the PlayStation 5 or whatever they're going to call it is going to be, I mean, it'll likely be more stronger than the X1X, but it's not going to be. We're already getting to that point where there's a bit of diminishing returns. Like it's not going to be. I don't feel like it can be gangbusters above it. You know what I mean? So I don't think.
Right.
So I don't think Microsoft will be in a position where they're like, oh, we've got to fire back and have something else now. I think they'll be good with the One X for a couple years.
Well, and they also need to focus on bringing the price point down a little bit if they can.
Well, that'll just
the One
happen
X.
naturally. Like
I mean, yeah.
yeah, so that's going to happen just kind of regardless. Where they need to be focusing is on bringing in more first-party studios and exclusive titles and things, because they've been killing it on the service side of things, which has always kind of been their MO. They've always kind of excelled in that area, and continue to build on that. That's great.
Even though I still think their menu is a cluster. If I be
Well,
honest.
I mean I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were mostly on the PlayStation side and had bought an Xbox, and they were saying, "Man, I hate the UI and all the way that everything works, and I don't particularly prefer it either. However, I'm just more familiar with." Like when I go to Sony, like I almost don't even have to think. It's just hand motions. I can just do it and go where I'm going to go and do. So I try to
But
step
let me ask
back.
you this. If you gave anybody that didn't know how to work either, and I'm only bringing this up because you mentioned the service.
Yes.
Because to me, that's part of the service, is making it easy.
But I don't.
If I handed my mom a controller to each one and gave her like, hey, do this, and like kind of just nudged her in a direction, the Xbox would be way harder for her to operate.
But what I say
think?
when I use the term service, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like Games Pass and Xbox Live and the strength of it and all that kinds of stuff.
I totally know what you meant, but
Yeah, I
like
know.
getting around is for me is part of that. Is like getting to Game Pass, getting to my friends list easy, getting to to talk, and I just feel like it's I do not like it.
Well, what I will say, or kind of what I was going to, I'm going to disagree with you a bit, because again, I just have familiarity, because the PlayStation 4, from the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4, the menu change is not very different. It's really, at the most part, just cosmetic. There's still the X and B there, and it still works the same way. So I have 2 generations essentially of familiarity. And where I poke holes in your theory right now is when I gave Stacy the controller and all she plays is PlayStation 4.
Yep.
I still got to tell her how to do and where to go and everything. I mean, she can figure things out. It's not like a few things here and there, but things are going to take her a long time to figure out. And I was always the same way. I was like, oh, it's just so much easier on the PlayStation. But it really boils down to my familiarity. Because once you're
Has
used
she
to a
tried
system,
it on the Xbox?
she has not. But what I'm saying,
you should do the test.
but what I'm saying is she struggles
let's test
either
this
way.
theory
She
out.
struggles because it's not
Yes.
her situation. So
Right.
it doesn't matter what the UI is. You can have your preferences, but you can memorize anything. So I know people who live on the
That's for
Xbox
sure.
and they're like, I can do everything and it's so fast and everything's so logical and everything. It's just because that's where they live. So
Right,
I feel like
right.
it's hard to judge that outside of just simply visual preference. And visual preference wise, I like the minimalistic side of the PS4 better. I don't know that it's actually better because I'm clearly have more bias on that side since I spend more time on that side.
Right.
So I mean, maybe I don't know, Ed. What do you think? I feel like you spend a pretty equal amount on both.
I'm probably more familiar with the Xbox one, and that one is more natural to me. But it's
Gotcha.
exactly what you were saying. You know, I spent the majority of my time on the Xbox side. So
Interesting.
I mean, if one thing can be said from the Microsoft side, they're constantly updating it and changing it and tweaking it and trying to make it better. PlayStation pretty much just leaves it alone, and every couple months, maybe there'll be a little bit of a change. But even then,
it seems like every couple years.
Slight.
But they have to like change everything because their TVs are the same menu. Their DVD players are the same menu type. You know.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
All right, Chowfie, best question ever. Who's getting arrested at 300?
If Chowfie was going to be there, I'd say you.
Yeah, right.
gosh.
Definitely.
Exactly. Yep. I think it's going to be Chris and Ed because they're going to be on like an Overwatch bender, and then they'll be running the streets of Franklin, getting
We're
arrested.
going to be
at
drunk
3
on
o'clock in the morning.
coffee, running around
yeah,
like, I see you,
exactly.
big belly.
London Spitfire. It's going to be amazing.
Frothy Monkey, why aren't you open now?
Exactly.
I'm going to use my ult
I
on this
love it.
door. You better open.
That's right. Thanks, Chowfie. That was good.
Yeah.
Jeff,
I'm going with Stancil.
Oh.
I'm with
There you
you.
Got to get Stancil
go with-
arrested.
Let's get Stancil arrested.
I would just keep
that'll be our
saying,
mission.
Don't hit me again in public really loud.
Yep.
Don't hit me.
With your flip flop.
You know, that's a good dark horse answer. Like that guy with the
That is a
flip
very
flops,
good
he was
dark-
hitting.
Exactly.
He was hitting.
He was hitting.
Cops go over there. He can't run fast because he doesn't have real shoes on.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And he never will.
And he never will.
Somebody throw a
That's
whale
right.
at him. He hates whales.
Oh,
Jeff Swan, how is it that I finally get a couple hours to play a game and instead I veg on the couch with my wife and yell at Shark Tank? Can you believe some of these people? Can we get you guys on Shark Tank to pitch MTTG? What would the MTTG Shark Tank pitch look like?
A hot mess.
It'd have to be super
I'll tell you what, if
cheesy,
I'm the
right?
one pitching it, it would get thrown out the Shark Tank.
That's right.
Oh
right.
man, that's funny.
That show is pretty funny. But
I
hey, you
love
know what?
that show.
Sometimes you do have to just veg on the couch with the missus and
Oh,
yell
yeah,
at people
definitely.
at Shark Tank. Yeah,
See,
absolutely.
I almost did that yesterday. I was like, I'm really bad on getting on just a run of YouTube videos, and I'll look up and it's tomorrow, and I was on this train with a bunch of Donald Glover videos,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, no, go downstairs and play that Super Mega Baseball or whatever that game is on Xbox. So I went and played that. I had to like pull myself up by my bootstraps though.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So is the question actually what I have no idea what a pitch would look like. I wouldn't even know what to pitch. I'd be like, I know what we say.
There you go.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm Gabe Patillo with Married to the Games. This is my partners, Ed Placencia, Chris McCracken, and Tim Router.
Hi, sharks.
Hi, Sharks.
We are
Yeah,
offering
exactly.
10% of our podcast for $1 million because we have the best community on the whole internet.
Right.
Any
we don't have any
questions?
sales.
Yeah.
And now, as the
We have
hard-hitting
no
questions
sales.
come out, the kids will leave, and me and Ed and Tim, we go out.
Yeah.
And Kate just stays in
Our,
there.
our valuation is $20.
We do have
our
earbuds.
evaluation is priceless.
It's priceless. Yes, priceless. There
We
you
do
go.
have earbuds. We'll be passing out so you can listen.
Yes, exactly. We'll sit here for the next
and
2 hours.
and Chris will now go on a string of dad jokes.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Exactly.
There you go.
And I will now mow my lawn with my shirt off.
That's and I'll be flipping water bottles over here.
Actually, what are we even saying? Ed wouldn't even be there because it's called the Shark Tank. So he wouldn't even step foot in there.
Good
That's a great point.
That's true, because
Great
they
point.
got that logo all over the place.
That's right.
We would just have to
that's
FaceTime
what it
him
is.
in on an iPad. This is our other co-host, Ed.
Don't they have an aquarium
He's a little
as you're
afraid.
walking in to meet them? So
Yeah.
Ed would be out. Ed would be in a puddle on
Ed's
the
just
floor
walking
somewhere.
around with a Samsung remote, turning all the TVs off. No to you, Shark. No
Nope,
to you,
nope,
Shark. And
nope,
no to
click.
you.
Nope, click.
And for these reasons, I'm out. And he walks away.
That's right.
We weren't pitching to you.
That is.
I still love how
Perfect.
at the beginning of every episode, they put that disclaimer that's like, "Hey, viewer, no one's making a deal with you."
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So shut
Nobody's
it.
asking you for money.
And I just love that
Yes.
they had to put that up there for a reason. So somewhere,
Yeah,
someone
yep.
thought
Somebody.
they were being offered a deal.
Exactly.
Oh, so good.
Oh, shoot.
All right, let's move on to Facebook, shall we? Daniel, hi. A few of my coworkers are currently trying a juice diet. I'm counting the days until someone passes out at the desk from the effects. Have you ever tried any crazy diets?
Yeah, we did a juice fast.
Oh,
Well, I
no,
should
thank
say,
you.
me and Jenny decided to do a 3-day juice fast.
Oh, okay.
We had a juice for breakfast, and then lunchtime came around, and she promptly ordered a Papa John's pizza.
Yes.
And I was like,
Perfect.
"What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm starving. We're doing a juice fast. You're not supposed to starve." I was like, "I think that's the fast is in the name.
Yeah, kind of the point.
Yeah, fast is in the name." And
Hi, sharks. The Patillo cleanse will revolutionize.
yeah,
Juice fasting.
and so I finished out the juice fast by myself.
Did you?
Oh, good for you, man.
Wow.
Yes,
Kudos.
I did 3 days on juice alone, and she ate pizza right in front of me.
Oh,
Nice.
scorpion woman.
I could not believe it. I was like, "Are you?
So
It's
funny.
lunch on the first day."
That's amazing.
That's like if Jesus rose from the grave right away. Like, yeah, you know, guys, 3 days. I know I said I would rebuild the temple in 3 days, but I will go ahead and get up now.
I know.
It stinks in
Let's
there.
just do this now.
Wow.
I'm really sweaty.
Yeah, exactly. It is humid. You know how humid it is wrapped up like
It
this?
is. Oh, that's awesome. That's
Chris?
so funny.
It's not really a diet, or at least they don't position themselves that way. But Stacy and I have done the whole 30 probably 2 times at least.
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
There
popular.
you go.
That's not a crazy diet, though. So that's
yeah. It's really more
pretty
about just
reasonable.
like getting back to steady ground, without getting rid of
Yeah.
all the other stuff. And that's how I got onto drinking my coffee black. And that's like one of the best things that I ever did. I was putting so much crap in my coffee. I wasn't even tasting it. It was
Mhm.
just like sugar with some
know.
coffee with my sugar. And
Right.
yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't done any crazy diets either. I mean, we did Atkins back in the day, and that was okay. But yeah, we just try and eat healthy and somewhat
Mhm.
normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
Herman Scott, hey guys, what's a game or game series that you slept on or ignored but ended up playing in the long run and enjoying? Currently, I have started the Yakuza series for the first time, playing
Oh.
Yakuza 0. I'm now
Mhm.
approaching 80 hours of playtime. Safe to say, I like it. Thanks,
Mhm.
guys, and have a great day.
BioShock.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, I think we all slept on Bioshock.
I slept on Infinite when it came out for sure because I hated
Me
1 and 2 so
too.
much.
Mm,
Yep,
And
me
then
too.
wrote a song about it.
Yep,
Right?
sure did.
Yeah, you did.
Sure did.
Chris?
I guess the only thing that I can really think of is the Battlefield series, because I was a Call of Duty guy. I was like, I'm not going to mess with all that Battlefield stuff. And then when Battlefield 1 came around, I decided to pick it up, and I really enjoyed it.
There you go.
Mhm.
Ed?
I mean, recently, Become 2 Souls
Yeah.
and
Detroit, 2 Souls.
I mean,
Detroit 2 Souls?
I mean, Beyond 2
Beyond.
Souls.
Yeah.
Yes. Beyond.
That's why I was
And,
saying other
Ghost-
words. I was like, what else can we get in there before he realizes that he said the wrong
I
word?
know, right?
Oh no,
LA 2 Souls?
I-
No, that's the wrong series.
Heavy, 2 Souls.
that's right. And Ghost Recon. So that's
2
those are
Souls.
2 for me.
Oh, yeah.
2
Ghost
Souls.
Recon.
Ghost
Yeah, Ghost
Recon,
Recon Beyond
Wildlands.
Mhm.
Wildlands. Perfectly.
Tim? You saying Bioshock as well?
I'm with you on Bioshock. Yep, totally snoozed on it.
What about Mass Effect? Did you ever play that?
Me?
You didn't play that, right?
Yeah, I played it, but I started at 2 and loved that series.
That's right. That's what I was about to say. We slept on that one too a little bit. We both jumped on that one late and loved it too.
But Mass Effect 1 didn't come to PlayStation, right?
Right.
It didn't.
Did you ever play one, Gabe?
I never went back and played one. I played one for a second at a friend's house. You know what I mean? But I never played one.
Yeah.
I
started
2 and 3.
2, loved 2 and 3. Oh, they were great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a good call. We both slept on that one too. Cool. All right, Corey Ray Swope. I have a job that allows me freedom to listen to podcasts all day, and I always like to try new podcasts. Besides your podcast, my other favorite is We Hate Movies. Do you guys listen to other podcasts now, or have you ever? And any recommendations?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, you want to go first?
Sure. I don't listen to any gaming podcasts besides when I occasionally listen to this one.
Yep.
I started on WTF from day one with Mark Maron, and I really like that one. I like Reply All. That's a good one. Criminal is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hello from the Magic Tavern cracks me up. So there's a handful of them that I listen to that I enjoy.
There you go. Christopher?
I used to listen to a ton of podcasts because I had an hour-long commute each direction every day.
Gosh, that's a long way.
But I no longer have that, so my podcast listening time has gone way down. So I don't get to listen, and I don't often get to listen at work because usually if I'm in the office, I'm editing something with audio, and I can't listen to something I need to pay attention to and focus on that. And then whenever we're on set shooting stuff, it's just most people want to listen to music. They don't want to listen to people talk about video games or whatever. And I get it, so I don't get to play them there either. So most of the ones that I listen to are video game related. They're not all, though. I listen to the What's Good Game podcast, some of the kind of funny stuff. On the IGN side, the only one I still listen to is Game Scoop. And then there's this one called Dodd Scientifics that I listen to. And then there's this one show that I listen to pretty often is called Foot in the Door. The host is kind of a nerd, but it's a pretty good show.
A little bit.
You should definitely check that one out. Outside
Edward!
Great interviewer. He really is.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Oh, thanks.
Outside of the gaming stuff, I do listen to How I Built This. I really like that one. There's another kind of interviewee one that just recently started called Armchair Expert. I like that one. And then there's the stuff that spawned kind of saying this. I don't mean to like toot my own horn here or our own horn here, but there's the ones that kind of started based off of coming out of our community, like Fortress of Nerditude, the PSVG stuff, games we don't play.
Mm-hmm.
So the Delvin Cox Experience, those are a lot of ones that you can go ahead and check out.
Nice.
Yep.
Tim?
Yeah,
That's cool.
I'm kind of along there too. I don't listen to podcasts while I'm working. I just like to listen to music, but when I'm driving, when we have long drives, I'll listen to podcasts. On the IGN side, Podcast Beyond. I used to listen to Giant Bomb quite a bit, but I feel like their episodes are so long. But those guys know their stuff. I mean, they've been in the trenches in gaming forever. And man, I miss Serial big time. I would love to have that season come back.
Yeah, I never listened to even season 2.
Good.
Was season 2 any good? Didn't it have 2 seasons?
Yes.
Season 1's really all you need.
Season 1's the best one,
good.
but I did like season 2. I didn't mind it. But yeah, I missed that a lot too. That was
The thing about season 1 that was for Stacy and I in particular so great about it is because it like hit and everybody was getting all enamored with it. And I said, no, don't listen to it, Stacy. We're going to save it. And she didn't understand why. And then when we were driving to 100, we started it and we listened to the entire season and it ended right as we were getting to our hotel.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it was like, and so when we went to 200 and we're about to go to 300, I'm just like, man, wish there was another season of Serial to start and do the whole way.
Right.
That's right.
If you have Amazon Prime, there's a podcast series on there called County Cork, and it's a true crime that Sarah and I listened to on the way out here. It's really
cool.
good. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Good. You guys.
Sorry, Gabe.
Oh, that's fine. You guys have mentioned a lot of the ones that I listen to as well. Criminal, How I Built This. This American Life is another one
Mhm.
that obviously
Yeah, it
is
is a good one.
hugely popular. Undisclosed
Mm-hmm.
is a good one that I like. And then I'll listen to one called apologetics.com. And it's really, really good. I like it a lot. Bible stuff.
Nice.
There was one
Awesome.
other one. I just can't remember. When I got my new phone, I didn't bring all my podcasts over. And there was one other one I feel like I listened to, but I forget what it's called. So I guess I didn't like it that much. Oh, Stuff
There
You
you go.
Should Know.
Oh yeah,
I used to listen to
Oh,
that
and,
all the time.
Overwatch League Daily. I listen to. They do a good job there.
Daily.
Well,
Yeah,
and
man.
they
Wow.
just announced that they're not going to be so much daily anymore, but they were doing pretty much every day that there was a game. The next day they do like a recap and have a special guest on and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Good question.
Nice.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
good. Eric Westrich. Why did they ruin Destiny?
Aw.
Oh, man. What a loaded
Uh,
question.
Yeah,
I
right.
say that they ruined it on accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's time for them to salvage it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's over.
No? You think it's dead?
No,
I
they'll
think it's
turn it around. There's still too many people play that game. They'll turn it around. At least to some
I
extent.
think they'll turn it around. I mean, just like they did, one changed experiences pretty
Mhm.
heavily.
Mhm.
I just don't know if it'll like be the thing though.
Do you think with the PUBGs and the Fortnites of the bunch that that's just taking over
No,
everything?
I don't think that's.
No.
Fortnite's a problem, but I don't think it's a huge issue.
Hmm.
I just think that
Right.
they just came out and they made it too easy to be done with it quickly, and so it just didn't have the legs that number one had.
Nice. Well, to follow that up, John McKinley writes, why is PUBG still crashing 30 updates / patches later?
Jeez.
Man, I don't know because after I got that group chicken dinner, I've just had no desire to go back and play. So I have
Really?
not jumped in on the Xbox side
That's it.
anyways. I'm assuming he's not talking about the Xbox side because I don't think the PC side was quite that bad, but
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
There's just there's too many things
I mean,
now.
Fortnite is
Things
just
out and about.
playing like
It's taking
butter
over.
on all the consoles that it's on, and PUBG just was all the jank.
Struggling.
I don't know what the deal
Yeah.
is.
on the struggle bus. Matthew Serta, what is the one food or drink item you refuse to eat at a stadium or arena?
Man, I feel
Beer.
like my
All
answer
of
is going to
them.
be controversial, but I will not do at stadiums or anything. I do not do nachos.
No?
No, I don't. I
Yeah,
don't like
I'm
that.
kind of
nacho
with you
cheese.
because of the hand. You have to handle it, and it requires put it on your lap and then try and eat it or what
Yeah.
have you. Like, I'm kind of with you, but I also love nachos at a stadium, so it kind of
I'm kind
goes
of with
both
you,
ways.
but 100% not with
Yeah.
you.
But yeah,
I mean, if I'm going to
But-
do it, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to get a sandwich, and by that I mean a hot dog.
right there you go.
Hot dog is
no.
not a sandwich for sure.
That's right.
Ah.
That's awesome.
No.
No, man, I
In and out of the bun, it's a hot dog.
exactly. If I refuse to eat something, it's because I need my hands, or like nachos would just be a little bit of a pain. So a hot dog you can just eat with one hand and be done with it. Pizza the same way, but so I would say maybe nachos, even though I still find them delicious.
Ed?
I feel like they're getting out of hand with the deep fried stuff.
Amen.
Yeah,
And so I'll, unless it's like fries or occasionally I'll have an onion ring. Other than that, I'm not really a deep fried guy.
Yeah, for some reason, beer is gross to me already. And so I can't imagine. And then, I've got friends that love beer. And so they've had me try all kinds of beer.
I'm raising my hand.
But but then like when I think of a stadium and stuff like that, I only think of like Bud Light and Coors Light. And that sounds
exactly.
disgusting to me.
This sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Right?
So I would say beer.
Yep.
It's so good.
Bud Light is good?
No, not Bud Light. I'm just talking about beer.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, beer is good. Cold beer on a hot day. Yeah,
I've never heard anybody be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get a freaking Bud Light.
I know, right?
No.
But maybe my
I've
friends are
never
highfalutin. I don't know.
Man, I really want a Coors Light right now.
I've never thought of beer as a refreshing drink. Like when I'm hot, that's like
Yes.
one of the last things I could.
Right,
Want
right. Because it doesn't.
You're not drinking
it
the right
doesn't
beer,
quench your
man.
thirst.
Yeah.
I guess not.
You gotta get an ice cold Miller Genuine Draft, man.
MGD.
The High
In the
Life,
place
champagne and
to
beers.
be.
Old Milwaukee.
That's right. Oh, Milwaukee. All right, let's move on. Twitter, Alex_Kai87. So I know you all are football fans, minus Ed, but what about soccer? I'm from Atlanta, and Atlanta United are obviously my team. Tim and Gabe, are you excited about Nashville getting an MLS team? Chris, do you partake in any FC Dallas games? Ed, sup.
Sup.
Sup. That was perfect. Yeah, man. Atlanta United is blowing up in the MLS scene. Like the fan base is crazy, and I'm super excited for them. And Nashville just got one. You know what's funny though? I'm not a huge MLS fan. I actually prefer the European soccer, and I follow the English Premier League and the Champions League and all that stuff. Just because I don't know, there's just something about it. But yeah. But I'm excited that Nashville has one, and the tickets are fairly cheap now, so it'd be fun to go to a game.
Do we have a team?
Yes, we do have our team.
Oh, I thought we were still getting it. I thought we were still in the process.
Nashville FC, Nashville Football Club.
Well, what's the name of the team?
Nashville FC.
No,
that's a horrible
stupid.
name.
That's really stupid.
No.
Well, it's
That's
the reverse.
pretty-
It's the reverse of FC Dallas.
Yeah, it's a bit common to have.
I understand it's common,
very
but
common.
like, isn't having a name common as well?
Well, the MLS
Like we
is
already have a football team, and now we have a football club.
right.
I don't like
it. The MLS is always trying to kind of mimic what's going on in Europe, and especially in the English Premier League. You have, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool Football Club. All these. Those are like
That's
legendary
always
teams. So that's kind of the nomenclature of how that goes.
We can't have
You're
like
welcome.
the Nashville, just any animal or something.
The Nashville Predators too.
The Nashville,
we can't.
lizards.
The Nashville, it's hot out here.
Yeah, the Nashville emus.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
cool.
was gonna say yes. I was excited because they're tearing down the state. I mean the fairgrounds.
Because they
and
won.
putting-
Let's tear down the state. We won.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
tearing down the city.
They're tearing down the fairgrounds to put the soccer stadium there.
Yeah.
But I thought we were gonna have I didn't know we already had them. Where are they playing? Like just outside someplace?
Right now they're playing at Nissan Stadium.
At the soccer arena.
No, the football club arena.
At the
They're playing
sports ball.
They're playing the football
sports
club.
ball arena.
They're playing the football club is playing on the football team's field.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess I'm not excited.
I've never been able to get into soccer. It's just not a thing. Even when
Hey,
I was a
man,
kid,
World
like
Cup's
both
coming
my
in
brothers
30 days.
played. I just can't get into it. I understand people are like, oh, it's just because you're American. Maybe I just can't get into it. I've never watched it.
Soccer.
Like real
Yeah.
soccer, Major League Soccer, and then soccer over in Europe and all that kind of stuff. I mean, when you watch it on TV, and even when you play the games like Pez and all those other ones, when you look at it, it looks like these little ants running on this big field and like, "Ee!" and then just kick the little ball, and then it just seems so boring to me. I'm sorry, I can't.
I
Get
do
into it.
like that the clock doesn't stop.
That is nice.
Yeah, I do like
Let's
that.
get up
It's
outta
a-
here.
it's a
I am a
nonstop-
bit
it's
surprised
nonstop
why
game.
other sports haven't kind of adopted that.
Yeah.
But that's a nice little thing. And I get that, the rest of the world sees something in it and loves it. So obviously the issue's with me. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I just
It's not for everybody.
never been able to get into it.
Like
Mhm.
it's weird. Like I love the World Cup. I hate that the U.S. is not in it. They didn't qualify for this year. But I'm still going to watch a lot of the matches just because it's pretty cool seeing international teams just coming together. A lot of the people that are on their countries' teams play either with each other or against each other on other European leagues. So it's essentially one big European league soccer match anyway, because most of the countries have different players from all over going to different leagues everywhere in Europe. So, but it's always I do enjoy watching.
I think part of my issue, at least,
but I grew up with it too.
yeah, at least early on, I was trying to figure out why can I not get into this, and I landed on the fact that they rarely ever score, and that doesn't seem exciting to me. But then I
Right.
started thinking about, I was like, well, wait a minute, maybe that's not exactly right because they don't score much in hockey either. But hockey's so fast paced, I feel like it's constant action.
Yeah.
Whereas soccer, the
Yeah.
field just feels so huge that it's like, yeah, I'm sure that was a really hard thing to do, and I couldn't do what you just did right there by flipping the ball over your head or whatever, but that doesn't look exciting to me. I just can't get.
Well, nobody's punching anybody, and they're flopping all over the place. So.
That's right.
It's true.
They're like, they tripped me, and they're jumping like a Japanese anime.
You walk past somebody and they fall over holding their head. It's like, wait, what?
Exactly. Yeah, that's just part of the game. It just happens. It's funny. That's the final question, gentlemen. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the questions. We had some good ones.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
as
thank
always.
you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
The question of the week for you guys: when trying out a game, that you don't really know how you feel about, how long is considered the good old college try?
Ooh.
Wow.
When trying out a game that you don't know how you'll feel about it, how long is considered a good old college try? Chris McCracken?
I feel like a good answer is probably 4 to 5 hours.
What's your
It
answer?
all depends. If I'm going in already being like, I'm not going to like this, I'm negative about it.
No, not like that, but just like in between. Like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this game.
Then I'll play it probably 4 to 5 hours. I feel like that's enough time to get a good feel for it. Because some games, an hour in, you're just still learning the mechanics of it. It really depends on what the game is. If it's straightforward and like, it's just a platformer, well, then you don't need 4 hours to figure out if you like it. But if it's something like an RPG, you're probably going to need a little while to really wrap your head around how it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm with you, Chris. I think 3 to 4 hours for me would probably do.
Yeah. Ed?
Just like Chris said, it depends on the game. If it's like a platformer, sometimes after 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, yeah, I got this. I'm not going to like this. If this is what I can expect. But I don't know. I guess I would say, I don't know. For me, I guess 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm more leaning towards it. Like, I'll almost give anything an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely.
But there needs to be something I like to continue past an hour.
Yep.
Whether it's and it could be down to the voice acting or the environment. There's just got to be something I can hang my hat on and say, this is what's keeping me around. I can't try something for 3 hours. I'm trying to come below where Tim and Chris said they were at. It's like, I understand, and I agree with Chris and Tim. I think 4 or 5 hours is fair. That's a fair try. You have tried it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just don't have that in me. And so it's
Right.
like, you got an hour. And if you want to spend the first hour in cutscenes, you can do that. I might not be here an hour and 15 minutes into this game.
But you're going to lose me. Yeah,
Exactly. So let us know when trying out a game that you don't really know how you feel about, how long is considered the good old college try for you. And let us know. Use #AnswerMTTG, or you can join the Facebook group, or you can tell us on Discord, you can tell us on Twitter. It's everything, it's all gravy.
Mm-hmm.
It's all church. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we about this thing. Bam!